Chapter 3261 Tianyuan Empire. Outside the imperial capital, an outsider had killed his way over. Almost 300 million Tianyuan experts had died in the hands of this outsider. How terrifying was that? At that moment, all forces, big and small, were staring at the outsider in the imperial capital. Could he really kill ultimate god Guquan? That person had the strength of a peak ultimate god in the imperial capital. Almost no one could kill him. Many people wanted to rebel against the Tianyuan Empire's rule, but they were all suppressed in the end. They just could not kill the Tianyuan Empire's emperor. Lin Fei stood outside the imperial capital and sneered in his heart. I let you escape back to the imperial capital. If you didn't want to gain more prestige, you would have died outside. You still dare to act like you're not afraid of death. I really have to give it to you. Ultimate god Guquan could escape back because Lin Fei had deliberately done so, killing ultimate god Guquan in front of everyone, and in a place like the imperial capital would have the greatest impact. Otherwise, Lin Fei would not have made such a scene. It was time to reel in the net. Getting rid of ultimate god Guquan was not Lin Fei's real goal. He was at most a relatively powerful ant. Venerable divinity Guquan was an invincible existence in the imperial capital. He did not take the outsider's words seriously. His opponent's strength was also beyond his expectations. It was the first time in the history of the Tianyuan Empire that someone could withstand his attacks all the way here. Although he could not kill his opponent, the Tianyuan Empire still had two great ancestors who were his biggest trump card. Ultimate god Guquan was ready to let the great ancestors appear later to suppress this kid. It would be a pity to kill such a strong physical body. How could ultimate god Guquan not see his opponent's tyrannical strength against his attack with pure strength? Such a physical body was actually quite valuable. I'm standing here. Come and kill me. As long as a little more time passed, his opponent would not be able to escape. He had already contacted the great ancestors, and now only needed to provoke him. Lin Fei shook his head slightly. I've given you a chance. If you want to die, there's nothing I can do. I'll fulfill your wish now. Voila! While everyone was looking at the outsider, Lin Fei passed through the terrifying ancient array formation in the imperial capital without warning. He grabbed venerable god Guquan's neck with one hand and lifted him up. This moment came too quickly. It was so fast that no one had any time to react. How is it? Are you surprised? Ha ha ha. This scene made many people unable to react. The imperial capital's array formation was actually useless. Save His Majesty. Attack him. The imperial family experts behind His Majesty were all anxious. They didn't expect the outsiders to ignore the imperial capital's array formation and capture His Majesty so easily. Lin Fei waved his hand at the imperial clan's experts, and a formless attack swept over them. In an instant, a large circle of imperial clan's experts was completely wiped out, and the surroundings became empty. Revered god Guquan's mind went blank. He, a dignified emperor, had actually been caught by someone in less than a breath's time. You, Lin Fei chuckled. I know you must be surprised. Do you know that I deliberately let you run back? Otherwise, how could I establish absolute prestige? You can't kill this emperor. Revered god Guquan's eyes were cold. I forgot to tell you that I've mastered another technique. I can kill both the main body and the doppelganger through the doppelganger or the main body. How is it? Aren't you even more surprised? Impossible. Lin Fei squeezed revered god Guquan's neck. With a snap, revered god Guquan stopped breathing. At the same time, in a secret room in the Tianyuan Empire, revered god Guquan, who was dressed in a black robe, had just stood up when he fell into endless darkness. He was deader than dead. Lin Fei casually threw revered god Guquan's corpse aside. If you don't believe me, you're destined to have a bad ending. Lin Fei flew towards the imperial capital's palace. The entire imperial capital fell silent at this moment. His Majesty is dead. His Majesty has really been killed. How did he do it? Something big is going to happen. With revered God Guquan's death, the two great ancestors are going to show up. The big and small forces outside were terrified. Who dared to believe that the outsiders' words were true? The emperor killed revered God Guquan just like that, and with such ease. Everyone knew that revered God Guquan had an original body outside in a secret place. It was an existence that could never be killed. Now that one was killed, a second revered God Guquan would soon appear. The Tianyuan Empire was about to get lively. No one believed that the other party could kill revered God Guquan's main body and doppelganger at the same time. Not many peak ultimate gods could master such a technique, as it was a top-notch secret technique. Lin Fei killed revered God Guquan, took his storage ring, and threw his body aside. Without any warning, he charged into the palace. The experts in the palace were completely terrified. His Majesty's strength in the imperial capital was not inferior to a peak ultimate god, but he was easily killed by the other party. It was too easy. It was completely different from the 300 rounds of battle they had imagined. When Lin Fei entered the range of the imperial palace, those experts didn't dare to move. Fight? That would be courting death. Lin Fei walked into the palace and sat on revered God Guquan's throne. Tell the organizations outside that from today onwards, the Tianyuan Empire is my territory. If you don't want to die, piss off to the imperial palace. If they don't arrive in an hour, I'll kill them one by one. Lin Fei said and closed his eyes to rest. There was no need to say anything else as the people in the palace went out to announce the news under Lin Fei's coercion. Before the great ancestors arrived, the experts in the palace would behave themselves and do whatever the other party said. Resist? Don't be silly. In the imperial capital, revered God Guquan was pinched to death by the other party, which was beyond everyone's expectations. He was ridiculously ferocious. No one could tell what kind of technique he used. Anyway, the arrogant and powerful revered God Guquan, the emperor of the Tianyuan Empire, was killed by an outsider just like that, and the other party's body was casually thrown away afterward. Those who were watching from the outside were no longer calm. It was really a headache whether they should leave or not. As for attacking the palace, what a joke. That was an existence who could pinch revered God Guquan to death with one hand. Before everyone could think about it, a message came out. It was issued by the outsider who requested all the first-class clans and forces to go to the palace to pay a visit. If they were not there within an hour, the outsider would personally visit. Everyone could not sit still anymore. Who could stop him from visiting? Chapter 3262. The Tianyuan Empire had changed. The Emperor Guquan was killed by an outsider. Even the special life form, Black Emperor, who had unlimited potential, was killed. Overbearing, violent, and ruthless. Until now, no one knew how the outsider killed His Majesty. If they could not see through it, it would be even more mysterious. For a moment, the outsider was shrouded in a mysterious aura. Within an hour, all the first-rate forces of the Tianyuan Empire had taken the initiative to come. They were all very tactful. No one wanted to be visited by such an expert, as the consequences would be unimaginable. Lin Fei did not say anything. He merely said that the Tianyuan Empire was his territory from now on, and they had better behave themselves. Otherwise, he would not mind killing them all. With his previous powerful performance, no one dared to say anything. They listened obediently, and no one would refute him. Their lives were more important. As for whether this outsider could control the Tianyuan Empire or not, that was a whole different matter. Your methods are really not bad. You've taken over the Tianyuan Empire just like that. In the imperial palace of the Tianyuan Empire, Zilong and the others came out of Senfu and temporarily stayed in the imperial palace. The royal disciples of the imperial palace were all driven out. Other than the necessary servants, there was no one else in the imperial palace. It was very quiet. I'm just playing around. Lin Fei smiled. Zilong could not see through Lin Fei. Aren't you afraid that the two ancestors of the Tianyuan Empire will take revenge on you? What's there to be afraid of? If they come, I'll just kill them again. Lin Fei said casually. The news that he had taken control of the Tianyuan Empire had spread throughout the empire, and his prestige was increasing day by day. I can kill special life forms. If you annoy me that day, I might kill you too. Zilong sneered. Violent maniac. Thank you for the compliment. By the way, did you really kill Guquan's main body and clone? Why don't you guess? Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. Zilong really wanted to give him a slap. Guess your sister. 2 corpses were found hanging from flagpoles in the imperial capital square. When the crowd saw the person on the flagpole, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. Their hands and feet began to tremble, unable to remain calm. Yes, Your Majesty. Wrong, it's the former emperor. Dead, he's really dead. How did that person do it? Unbelievable. What a terrifying technique. The corpse hanging on the flagpole was none other than His Majesty, Guquan Divinity. Both his real body and avatar were present at the same time. This scene quickly spread throughout the Tianyuan Empire. At last, a terrible chill came over them. An outsider who could kill His Majesty Guquan was not very scary. What was scary was that he could easily kill His Majesty Guquan's main body and avatar. Anyone would be afraid of such methods. The 2 corpses brought Lin Fei hundreds of billions of prestige points. Everyone was terrified of such a terrifying method, and the first-rate families became even more well-behaved. On the 9th floor of the Tomb of the God of Sin, this place was different from the 8th level. It was not a world continent, but a desolate and uninhabited place. At the same time, there was an oppressive aura everywhere, as though there were no signs of life. In the sky, there were 6 huge balls of light floating around. Each ball of light emitted a blazing aura as though they were the sun. These 6 huge balls of light had different colors. They seemed to be floating in the sky, but they were actually moving in the same direction. If one did not have extremely good eyesight, they would not be able to see them. 2 of the balls of light separated. There's an unforeseen event on the 8th level. Let's head over first. One of the black balls of light said, Could it be those outsiders? You guys are making a fuss over nothing. They won't be able to cause any trouble. Besides, the Black Emperor is still on the 8th level, and there's still Zilong on the 7th level. It'll be a piece of cake to deal with them. One of the balls of light said disdainfully, The experts outside are too weak. Lin Fei had his men hang up the corpses of Hierarch Guquan's main body and clone. His prestige shot up like a waterfall as he felt elated in his heart. Using such a powerful method to raise his prestige was the best thing to do. In fact, it was just as Lin Fei had guessed. His prestige rose quickly. This is the treasure vault. Lin Fei and Zilong were on their way to the royal treasure vault. After occupying the Tianyuan Empire, they naturally had to plunder it. Without saying anything, the royal disciples immediately gave up the location of the royal treasure vault. Under the guidance of someone, they came to the underground of the palace and stood in front of a treasure vault. Lin Fei was rather interested in the items in the treasure vault. This was the divine tomb left behind by Hierarch Guquan. There were experts on the 7th and 8th levels, and there were even special life forms. It would be a pity if he did not enter to take a look. The door of the royal treasure vault was covered with layers of restrictions, but none of them could stop Lin Fei. After all, he had the various items left behind by Hierarch Guquan, so he could easily pass through the restrictions. With a loud bang, Lin Fei pushed open the door of the royal treasure vault. There's a lot of stuff. After the door was pushed open, all kinds of resources were piled up like a mountain. There was no end in sight. Lin Fei was not too interested in those materials. The 8th level is a continental world. There must be a lot of resources there. Zilong snorted softly. Lin Fei looked around as he walked, but there was really nothing that caught his eye. All the way inside, the number of treasures also began to decrease. From being densely packed to being scattered around, the quality of the items also began to increase, especially when they were nearing the end. Those treasures would make people jealous. You don't even like these enchanted equipment? For example, this paralysis scepter and this level 8 enchanted equipment are for level 8 ultimate god experts. As a special life form, Zilong was also quite interested in such enchanted equipment. However, this guy just did not like them. Lin Fei really did not like enchanted equipment. Pretty ordinary stuff, is it that powerful? His words made Zilong speechless. He continued walking. There were fewer and fewer items. There's a small treasure vault here. Lin Fei had scanned it with the system and found the hidden small treasure vault. He opened it violently and the space moved. Just as he was about to enter the small treasure vault, with a swoosh, a Jingguang attacked and curled towards Lin Fei's body, followed by a second and a third. More than a dozen of them came out. There's a hidden killer move. This must have the strength of a peak ultimate god. Lin Fei stretched out his hand and pushed the Jingguang aside as if the things in front of him were no different from fallen leaves. Every time a Jingguang was pushed aside, the power of the Jingguang was greatly reduced. Who dares to be so presumptuous? A sharp voice came from the small treasure vault. The loud, rumbling sound was like the pressure of heaven and earth. The corner of Lin Fei's mouth slightly raised. It seems that the Tianyuan Empire really has something good hidden. Chapter 3263. On the way to the 8th level. The 2 light spheres had already transformed into human forms. They looked to be in their 50s or 60s and looked very fierce. Oh no! Someone has broken into our mini-realm. Oh no, that thing is still inside. Their expressions changed drastically as the mini-realm's restriction was triggered. What the hell is Gu Quan doing? A few outsiders can't even catch him. What a waste, said one of the middle-aged ultimate gods angrily. What's the use of him, bastard? Don't worry, our mini-realm isn't that easy to break into. Gu Quan and Black Emperor are here, so there won't be too many accidents. I heard there are only a handful of peak ultimate gods out there. Those outsiders won't be able to break through our trap. Although the 2 of them were not the strongest among the peak ultimate gods, not everyone could withstand their attacks. I'd like to see who has the guts to break into our mini-realm. The mini-treasure vault was not very big. When Lin Fei was the first to rush in, he was immediately attacked. The energy that was spread all over the mini-treasure vault instantly surged towards him and almost tore him apart. It was Lin Fei's first time encountering such a move. With the peak perfect physical body, Lin Fei's physical defense was unbelievably strong. The energy that rushed in front of him was blocked. Lin Fei saw a round table in the distance with an empty space around it. There was something on the round table. A middle-aged man sitting cross-legged on both sides opened their eyes and stood up. Purple Fairy, why are you here? Both of them knew Zilong, the 7th level's special life form. So this is what you're guarding. Zilong noticed a thing on the round table with a flash of joy. So the rumor is true. You've really gotten that thing. Lin Fei looked at the thing on the round table. It looked like a fragment. He could not tell what it was for the time being, but it must be something good for 2 ultimate gods beyond 9th class ultimate gods to guard it. Lin Fei was very interested. I want this thing. Lin Fei rushed over. The terrifying power of his perfect physical body burst forth, and a monstrous power crushed over like a tidal wave. In reality, it was just like a gust of wind that ran over the 2 of them. After all, those who stayed behind were not real top-level ultimate gods with average combat power. However, they were still invincible against ultimate gods below level 10 ultimate gods. In front of Lin Fei, it was nothing. Two middle-aged ultimate gods were sent flying with a single charge. Their bodies began to sway. So it's divine sense. You guys can go now. Lin Fei threw 2 punches at them with the force of empty Tai. The two middle-aged ultimate gods were torn apart. He was already standing on the round platform and saw what was on it. Do you know what this is? Lin Fei reached out to grab the item. However, someone was faster than him. Another hand reached out to grab the item on the round table. A mist-like object blocked in front of Lin Fei. I want this thing. Zilong's beautiful eyes showed a rare look of anticipation and excitement. Her delicate hand reached for the fragment. Although Lin Fei was fast, he was still a step too late. The fragment fell into Zilong's hand. You're quite brave. You really believe that I won't kill you. It was the first time someone snatched the item in front of him. Special life forms were really not ordinary. Zilong grabbed the black fragment. Her breathing seemed to quicken. I'm just a weak woman. What's the point of killing me? She put on a pitiful look. Lin Fei was speechless. You're a special life form. How could you say you're a weak woman? You're someone who can kill an ultimate god easily. Are you kidding me? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Lin Fei snorted. As long as you give me this thing, I can fulfill 3 of your requests. Zilong gritted her teeth. Otherwise, I'll have to fight you. Don't underestimate us special life forms. Black Emperor was killed by you because he wasn't on guard. Once I'm on guard, it won't be so easy for you to kill me. Zilong's words made sense. Back then, when Lin Fei killed Black Emperor, he did catch the other party off guard. If the other party wanted to escape, it would be a little troublesome. Hee, 3 requests. Don't you think it's funny? Lin Fei said lightly. Seal. As soon as he said that, Zilong felt something was wrong. Just as she was about to escape, a shield appeared out of thin air and trapped the other party, blocking all the surrounding energy. Absolute vacuum. This was a skill that Lin Fei exchanged for 4 billion reputation points. The effect was still top-notch. At least it trapped Zilong. This special life form was worth it. How about it? Are you convinced now? Lin Fei smiled. No one can snatch something from me. Zilong's face was filled with horror. Previously, when she was trapped in Senfu, she thought that it was because of Senfu's array formation and didn't think much of it. In any case, it would be fine as long as she didn't go to Senfu. But this time, Zilong was trapped without any defense. All her energy was sealed, and her strength plummeted. She couldn't even leave this place. As a special life form, Zilong could control energy. Up until now, her energy had reached level 3. But now, she had lost all connection. This damnable shield had sealed everything. I'll return it to you. Zilong was in low spirits. She tossed the item out. Is it fun for a man to bully me? The shard landed on Lin Fei's hand. Only now did Lin Fei see clearly that this shard seemed to be something that came from a round plate. One side was extremely smooth, and the surface of this item was made of special materials. There were unfamiliar ancient patterns engraved on it. At the very least, he didn't recognize them, nor did he know what ancient language they were. Lin Fei flipped through it, but he really couldn't find anything special about it. What is this? Lin Fei smiled. If you're right, I'll remove it for you. Otherwise, this shield will follow you for the rest of your life. If you're willing, I don't mind. Even when she was defeated by Lin Fei last time, Zilong thought that Lin Fei had taken advantage of her and killed Heidi in front of her. It was only to catch Heidi off guard. At that moment, she realized how terrifying Lin Fei was. It was the first time Zilong was trapped by such a technique. Zilong didn't care about ordinary sealing treasures, but this thing was too mysterious. It was not a treasure, but more like a technique to attack. It was unbelievable. So far, she had seen several techniques displayed by Lin Fei, and none of them were extremely powerful. Could it be that he had found the inheritance of a top-level ultimate god? Otherwise, where else could he get it? Any of these techniques were very powerful. A person who could learn any one of them would be very powerful. The person in front of her had repeatedly overturned Zilong's perception. Now he could even use a technique to seal her. Chapter 3264. Universe Crystal Chip? What the hell is that? Lin Fei's first reaction upon hearing the words Universe Chip was to wonder what the hell it was. It sounded like something very high-end. You don't know. Zilong looked like he had seen a ghost. If I knew, why would I ask you? Lin Fei asked. Tell me, what is this universe crystal chip? Maybe I'll return it to you, if I'm satisfied. A fragment of unknown origin turned out to be a universe crystal chip, especially with the word universe on it. It must be something extraordinary. Zilong, as a special life form, had snatched it. Maybe it was something of great origin. Lin Fei's interest was piqued. Zilong really did not know that this guy did not know the origin of the universe crystal chip. Actually, a universe crystal chip is a chip that was split from a complete universe crystal. Zilong explained simply. And universe crystal stones are the cultivation cores of universe-level experts who have surpassed the ultimate god. Now you understand the importance of a universe crystal chip. Lin Fei did not know whether to laugh or cry. So that was what it was. He thought it was something else. Is a universe crystal chip worth you snatching? Zilong rolled his eyes. Collecting 10 universe crystal chips can be combined into a universe crystal. Refining a universe crystal can allow you to become a universe-level expert who has surpassed the ultimate god and travel through the universe. Do you know what universe travel is? It's not as simple as traveling from one world to another. Lin Fei fell into deep thought. A universe was not a world. It sounded very mysterious. Master, a world and a universe are different. A universe can be very big, including this world and that world. For example, the boundless universe is actually in the same universe. Lin Fei began to feel indifferent. Doesn't that mean that as long as I become a universe-level expert, I might be able to return to my world? No, my universe. A world that had long been sealed in the depths of the universe emerged. Yes, you can. As long as Master travels across the universe and finds your world, everything will not be a problem. The little devil said, Do you have universe crystals? Lin Fei asked hurriedly, Master, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. The system doesn't provide this. Little Demoness said apologetically, You'll have to work hard on your own. This answer was very disappointing. Then, if I use my prestige to raise my strength, would I be able to match up to a universe-level warrior and cross universes? This won't do. The little devil poured a bucket of cold water on him again. Just now I helped Master scan it. The chip contains the aura of the universe. This is an irreplaceable existence. Master must collect the cosmic chip. The little devil's words undoubtedly condemned Lin Fei's idea of taking a shortcut. Lin Fei was very happy in his heart. The discovery of the universe crystal chip had undoubtedly given Lin Fei hope. 10 universe crystal chips didn't seem to be very difficult. It seemed that he already had one in his hands, so the distance wasn't too far. Are there many of these things? Are they easy to get? Lin Fei asked Zilong. Zilong rolled his eyes again. Do you really think that the universe crystal chip is cabbage? It's very difficult for this thing to form and appear. For example, in the outside world, not to mention the universe crystal chip, I'm afraid there isn't even a single universe-level warrior. To be able to find one here is already very lucky. Upon hearing this, Lin Fei knew that this task was very difficult. If you want to collect 10 universe crystal chips, I advise you to give up. This thing is very rare. In our universe, there are only a few universe-level warriors. Even if there were scattered universe crystal chips, They would have been taken away by others or even drifted to other universes. Zilong said, "Back then, many people had the same idea as you, but in the end it was all for naught." Lin Fei wasn't so easily defeated. This matter is not urgent. Lin Fei put away the universe crystal chip. Little Demoness, is there a way to search for the universe crystal chip? Or is there an aura related to the universe crystal chip? This requires time. The 8th floor of the Tomb of the Gods. 2 figures came out from the passage. "I can't feel Gu Quan's aura anymore. Black Emperor's aura has also disappeared." The 2 Tianyuan Empire's great ancestors' faces instantly became very ugly. The former's ultimate god, Gu Quan's aura was gone since he was just an ultimate god. However, the latter's Black Emperor was a special life form and the Tianyuan Empire's hope. Their huge divine senses instantly shrouded the entire Tianyuan Empire and searched inch by inch. They really could not find ultimate god Gu Quan and Black Emperor. Something really happened. The 2 peak ultimate gods disappeared from the sky and reappeared in a big city. They soon found out the reason. "Damn the outsider! Let's go to the imperial capital." The 2 peak ultimate gods were extremely angry at that moment. At the same time, there was a trace of doubt. Who was that outsider to be able to kill Black Emperor and ultimate god Gu Quan? No one was clear about the specific details of the battle. In any case, they were killed in an instant. Passing through the imperial capital's formation was extremely ridiculous. Was the imperial capital's formation so easy to pass through? They knew it very well. They arrived at the imperial capital. The 2 peak ultimate gods did not notice that the formation had been activated. The entire imperial capital was also calm without any signs of a major purge. Humph! How dare he say that the Tianyuan Empire is his territory? How arrogant! They did not hide their tracks when they came back. Everyone in the imperial capital knew about it. There in the imperial treasury, the 2 peak ultimate gods rushed into the imperial capital palace and ignored those people as they ran all the way to their own mini-world. Outsider die. They entered the mini-world and saw 2 people who seemed to be waiting for them. One of the peak ultimate gods slammed his palm over with a loud bang. The mini-world shook as if it was about to collapse. "Hand over the thing!" The thing on the round table disappeared and he roared, "Or else I'll make you wish you were dead!" "Gu En, Uncle Gu Lin, I'm not the one who took your things. Don't hit the wrong person." After the angry slap, a figure flashed out of the mini-world. It was Zilong. "I'm just here to watch the show. This is the one who stole your things. Niece Zilong." Gu En and Gu Lin's expressions changed again when they saw Zilong in purple. Their eyes inadvertently searched around. "Why are you here?" Zilong pointed at Lin Fei, who was not far away. "He brought me here to visit. I didn't expect Gu En and Uncle Gu Lin to have collected the universe chip. If the Eternal Church finds out, we'll die a horrible death." Gu En and Gu Lin's expressions became even worse when they heard that. That was their biggest secret. Now that the little girl had found out about it, the other party was a special life form who mastered a terrifying energy attack. Even they could not catch him. "Niece, as long as you help us catch this kid, we can give you a chance to study the universe chip. This is a rare opportunity. If you don't tell us, who will know?" Chapter 32, 65. Gu En and Gu Lin were the ancestors of the Tianyuan Empire with the strength of a peak ultimate god. In the 8th floor of the Divine Tomb, a king-level existence was on an equal footing with those on the 9th floor. However, someone said they were no match for the other party. Naturally, they were embarrassed. Most importantly, their secret was exposed. In this part of the universe crystal chip was a priceless item. At the same time, it was also something that everyone dreamed of. Even a universe crystal chip could set off a reign of terror. Especially when Zilong mentioned the eternal divine court, The two peak ultimate gods were terrified. You can't beat me. Lin Fei walked out with a smile. The power of that palm attack was quite limited and not as strong as imagined. It could only be said that the two peak ultimate gods in front of him were only average. They could scare the ultimate gods, but they were far from being effective against someone like Lin Fei. Ultimate God Gu En and Ultimate God Gu Lin looked at each other and made their move. The universe chip must be taken back. Zilong's niece's side would be easy to deal with once the outsider was dealt with. After all, everyone knew each other's background. However, the guy in front of them was a different story. Bang bang. The two peak ultimate gods were aggressive and their anger had reached its limit. When they were about to teach the outsider a lesson, a figure flashed in front of them and sent them flying. Terror-grade power exploded in the two peak ultimate gods' bodies like firecrackers. The two peak ultimate gods' faces changed every time the sound was heard. It was the first time a tyrannical power exploded in their bodies. Peak ultimate gods are really tough. An ordinary ultimate god collapsed with one punch. Lin Fei came before Guan and punched him in the chest again. His defenses were torn apart, and his punch landed on Guan's fleshly body, causing a series of sounds to ring out. Uncles, do you believe what I said? Zilong chuckled. Lin Fei's speed was extremely fast as he punched the two ultimate gods one after another. He did not use any prestige skills to deal with them from the beginning to the end. The two peak ultimate gods were left speechless by his pure physical strength. Gu En and ultimate gods Gu Lin had seen all kinds of heavenly prides. Their opponent clearly did not have the aura of a top-level ultimate god, but his combat power was terrifyingly strong. He alone easily suppressed them and caused them to suffer heavy injuries. Now, do the two of you still want to take back the universe crystal chip? It's not that I'm bullying you, but this bit of strength is not enough. Lin Fei smiled. As long as you tell me how to get the universe chip, I can show you mercy. Don't you dare! The two ultimate gods realized they were no match for him and stopped attacking. Their bodies suddenly exploded and turned into black streams of light that rushed out. Immediately after that, the small world where they were was collapsed. We will come back sooner or later. Gu En and revered divinity Gulin gave up on continuing to attack. They caused the small world to collapse and escaped. The small world collapsed, and the huge power overturned the royal family's treasury. The huge palace was also completely destroyed. Aren't you going after them? Zilong gloated. You'll be in big trouble if they escape. I can easily kill special life forms. There's nothing to be afraid of even if there are two of them or more. They're all here to die anyway. Lin Fei smiled. You, on the other hand, seem to be hiding a lot of information. Do you think I should do something to you? It's not good for you to know in advance, hee. Zilong's figure disappeared. Come and catch me now. Zilong followed the energy and left. You're quite smart. Lin Fei smiled. I'm getting more and more interested in this universe. From the conversation between Zilong and the two peak ultimate gods, Lin Fei could tell that Zilong's special life form knew a lot of secrets. For example, the eternal divine court. The two peak ultimate gods' expressions changed, and the fear in their eyes could not be hidden. After ultimate gods Gu En and Gu Lin escaped, they did not stop and ran all the way to the entrance of the 9th floor. How can that guy be so strong? My power can't even penetrate his body. When did outsiders become so powerful? Gu Lin said gloomily. Zilong knows him. Could he be in cahoots with that person? Ultimate God Guan frowned. It wasn't easy for us to get the universe chip. Now that it's in that kid's hands, what should we do? If the news gets out and those spies find out, we won't have a good ending. Both of their faces turned gloomy. It's not difficult to get rid of him. We just need to wait for that kid on the 9th floor. We just need to exaggerate a little, and I believe he'll definitely die without us doing anything. I don't believe he's that strong. Don't forget that the ninth floor is ultimate God Yuangu's forbidden area. Let's go there right away. Lin Fei ignored the peak-level ultimate gods. He was vigorously harvesting his reputation. The two peak ultimate gods did not take it seriously. It was not easy for them to get there, so they had to harvest it no matter what. With the help of prestige, Lin Fei had gained some insights from his research. He could gain prestige better. That was, he could also gain prestige by insulting others. The effect was quite good. Lin Fei put in a lot of effort and invested a lot of reputation in order to squeeze out the reputation on the 8th floor. He began to farm reputation missions. He would farm here today and here tomorrow. The imperial capital palace collapsed, and the departure of the two heavenly Yuan ancestors was deliberately promoted by Lin Fei and contributed a lot of reputation to the 8th floor. Lin Fei stayed on the 8th level for a total of 5 years. In total, he earned more than 5 trillion reputation points until he could no longer squeeze anymore. This Lin Fei is a very interesting person. On the 8th floor, Zilong was standing with a middle-aged man. Father, he is indeed strange. He has done so many strange things on the 8th floor and has even built numerous black towers. He has stayed on this floor for 5 years. Could it be that he is afraid of those old guys on the 9th floor? This was something Zilong could not understand. Father, he is indeed strange. Zilong had been paying attention to Lin Fei for the past 5 years, while thinking about how to crack Lin Fei's moves. Until now, there was no good solution. Lin Fei was too mysterious. Gu En and Gu Lin are really bold to hide the universe chip. It's a pity you didn't get it. The middle-aged man looked forward and said, "All right, let's go meet this mysterious kid. Whether we can get out of here depends on him. He can really bring us out." Chapter 3266. Tianyuan Empire. It was still the same name, but the Tianyuan Empire had changed its master. This outsider acted in an unconstrained manner. Since he took control of the Tianyuan Empire, he had hardly cared about the affairs of the Tianyuan Empire except for killing venerable god Guquan and repelling old ancestor Tianyuan. He only liked to attack people and would attack anyone. Every major city had been tortured by this outsider. It had happened at least 8 to 10 times. Until now, no one had figured out what Lin Fei was trying to do. Those big forces breathed a sigh of relief. The bloody suppression did not happen. You are really useless. You can't even do something well. Get out of here. In the imperial palace, similar words like this appeared every day. The servants in the imperial palace were used to it. The big families in the imperial capital were also used to such a habit. It was just a matter of being attacked. They would not lose a piece of flesh. "Miss C, what brings you here? What a rare guest. I thought you would not come back." In the imperial palace, Lin Fei sat on the throne and shouted at the void, "Can't I come?" Zilong and a middle-aged man appeared in the imperial palace. Lin Fei smiled and said, "Of course you can come. No matter who you are, I will welcome you." "Of course, I won't welcome you if you are my enemy." How could Zilong not know that this guy's words were not sincere? They were all bluffing. "This is my father. I came to see you today for something. Do you want to attack the 9th floor with me?" Lin Fei said with a smile. The middle-aged man couldn't help laughing. "Your Majesty Lin, you are really funny. If not, then we have nothing to talk about." Lin Fei shook his head and stood up. "I still have something to do." "Excuse me." Zilong gritted his teeth angrily. "This guy definitely did it on purpose." "Wait," Zilong shouted. "We really have something to talk to you about." Even though he really wanted to tear Lin Fei into pieces, he held himself back in the end. He still needed Lin Fei's permission to leave the tomb of the god of Yuangu. Lin Fei sat down again, his heart full of pride. "If there's anything, just say it. I'm a very reasonable person. If there's any more nonsense, I don't mind sending you out." The middle-aged man had failed to kill Yi Qin last time and had instead suffered a blow. Afterwards, Yi Qin had taken over the Tianyuan Empire, killed Heidi and Gu Quan, and repelled the Tianyuan ancestor. No matter what it was, he was extremely surprised and shocked. A lifetime of cultivation couldn't even compare to a young man. Let me introduce myself. I am Zilong's father, Xiaoyan. Just like his name, Xiaoyan had a faint arrogance about him. I want His Majesty Lin to take us away from this place. Lin Fei had already guessed it. Besides this reason, there was really no other reason for Zilong and his daughter to come together. It's not that I can't take you out, but what can you give me? Lin Fei said with a smile. After all, it's not that easy to control that thing. I heard from my daughter that His Majesty Lin is very interested in this universe. It just so happens that I have a lot of secrets about the universe. I believe His Majesty Lin will definitely be interested. I can say that not many people know about these secrets. Lin Fei shook his head. Not enough. Xiaoyan didn't think that a few secrets could make him agree. I know. The second reason is that my daughter admires you and wishes to serve by your side. Damn, this is a honey trap. Lin Fei still shook his head. Not enough. This is your last chance. If you can't take out something that can make my eyes light up, you can leave. Xiaoyan didn't get angry. After all, he was asking for help at this time. From his daughter. He also knew that this Lin Fei had a very mysterious origin and had many powerful killing techniques. The two Tianyuan ancestors were killed by him. This was the best proof. This guy has a lot of trump cards. This was Xiaoyan's conclusion. Xiaoyan struggled and said, I know the whereabouts of a universe crystal chip. I wonder if His Majesty is satisfied with this news. In the back garden of the palace, human race's Saintess Feng, Yen, was patting Lin Fei's back. In the past 5 years, the human race's Saintess Feng, Yen, had become his maid. The management of the Tianyuan Empire was also handed over to Panjian. After 5 years, the pressure on her body became stronger and stronger. Every time she was in front of Lin Fei, this pressure would disappear without a trace. In that case, there is actually nothing in the tomb of the original god of sin. Lin Fei slightly frowned. He was originally planning to go to the 9th floor to take a look. Xiaoyan and Zilong sat opposite each other in front of Lin Fei. Hearing that Lin Fei wanted to go to the 9th floor, Xiaoyan suggested not to go. The most valuable thing in the entire tomb of the original god of sin was the universe crystal chip. More than 3,000 years ago, we broke all kinds of barriers left by Divinity Yuanju and divided all kinds of things. The only thing we didn't expect was that Divinity Gu En and Divinity Gulin had secretly found the universe crystal chip. Xiaoyan said. The original god of sin was one of the strongest among the group of top-notch ultimate gods. Later, rumor has it that he found the universe crystal chip in an ancient land. Later, he was hunted by the Eternal Church's lackeys and died in the tomb of the original god of sin. However, no one believes the universe crystal chip exists. Is the Eternal Church very powerful? Lin Fei asked curiously. The last time Zilong mentioned it, his expression changed. This time, Xiaoyan's expression changed as well. He seemed to be very frightened and wary. Very terrifying. They are truly a colossus. Xiaoyan took a deep breath. Because our universe is under the Eternal Church's rule, the universe crystal chip is a top-notch treasure. Every time a universe crystal chip appears, it must be handed over to the Eternal Church. Anyone who keeps it will die without a burial place. Their entire clan will be wiped out. Xiaoyan didn't explain it too clearly. Lin Fei wasn't a fool. From what Xiaoyan said, he could tell how terrifying the Eternal Church was. It actually ruled over a universe. That was unbelievably awesome. A universe was so huge. How much power did it take to rule over it? No wonder the universe crystal chip was so important. Even the two patriarchs of the Tianyuan Empire had to be careful with it. Then tell me about this universe. I want to know more about it. Zilong looked at Lin Fei with a strange expression. Lin Fei had mastered so many techniques, but he didn't know about this universe. Didn't his master mention it? That was impossible. Xiaotian didn't ask about this. Instead, he explained it seriously. After a while, Lin Fei finally understood that the universe he was in was called the Eternal Universe. The Eternal Church was the one and only controller. It was the true overlord of the universe. There were 9 great realms under the Eternal Universe. Each great realm was overseen by a universe-level expert who ruled over a great realm. What surprised Lin Fei the most was that the sacred spirit realm he was in was actually a great realm in his previous life. However, it had been destroyed by a battle between universe-level experts. Chapter 3267. The more Lin Fei listened, the more shocked he became. So, the destruction of the great saint spirit world by the universe experts was due to the aftermath of the universe chip of the ultimate God. After hearing Xiaotian's words, Lin Fei was in disbelief. The Eternal Church had to pay a hefty price to seal up the shattered world after a single universe chip had been able to shatter it. Yes. Anyway, the 2 universe experts who fought each other didn't get anything out of it. The Eternal Church killed one of them, and the other is in hiding, Xiaotian said. You must keep His Majesty's universe chip safe. If word gets out, the Eternal Church's lackeys will have a sharp nose. Lin Fei now knew the invisible potential danger that the universal chip could bring. The Eternal Church was a big problem. Lin Fei didn't think Xiaotian would dare lie to him. As long as he wanted to leave the tomb of the God of Origin, he wouldn't dare say anything and would behave himself. I'm wondering if I should kill you. Lin Fei chuckled. After all, you know that I have the universe chip. Zilong scolded. My father told you out of kindness, but you dared to do it. Xiaotian laughed. My daughter, His Majesty Lin, isn't that kind of person. I'm willing to help His Majesty go to the 9th level and kill Gu En and Gu Lin. They won't have the guts to say anything about the universe chip. Lin Fei didn't plan to go to the 9th level, especially when he knew that the best thing of the ultimate God of Origin was in his hands. The rest had already been divided. Gu En and Gu Lin, the 2 ultimate gods, would leak the secret. Lin Fei had no choice but to get rid of them. At this point, Lin Fei didn't want to be targeted by the Eternal Church. He still wanted to collect the universe chip, so he could travel through the universe. Lin Fei laughed. Gu En and Gu Lin don't need you to do anything. I'll kill them myself. I'd like to know the whereabouts of the universe chip, though. I don't know about the distant universe crystal chip, but I know about the nearest one. It's in the sealed continent, Xiaotian said. Not many people know about this. As for whether we can find it or not, that will depend on your Majesty's ability. Lin Fei frowned. A sealed continent. This area is too big. There was the saintly spirit continent and the divine beast continent, which was even bigger than the saintly spirit continent. If the remaining 3 continents were to be unsealed, they would really form a greater world. This was no easy task. That thing is real. Xiaotian did not dare to offend Lin Fei too much, since he needed to leave the god's mausoleum. I believe that after the 5 continents are completely unsealed, the traces of the universe chip will appear, especially when the continents are melted. Any special materials will be driven out. That will be the last chance to find the universe chip. Of course, this is just my personal suggestion. After a while, I will leave the tomb of the God of Sin. I will contact you then. Xiaotian and Zilong left the 8th floor. Father, why don't we go to the 9th floor? There's no need. Xiaotian shook his head. That Lin Fei is really unfathomable. I feel a dangerous aura from him. It's really not right. I can't even see through his cultivation realm until now. Father, how is that possible? You're also a peak ultimate god and have mastered so many secret techniques. Zilong was still not reconciled to losing to Lin Fei, but it was unbelievable that his father could not see through his cultivation realm. So what if he's a peak ultimate god? He'll always be so vulnerable if he doesn't master the supreme secret techniques. Eodon shook his head as if he had touched upon something sad. Well, we don't have to worry about this anymore. We'll just wait to leave this place. After Zilong and his daughter left, Lin Fei frowned. The news about the latest universe chip was not good news. In this eternal universe chips were not something everyone could have. There was a more powerful and terrifying existence in charge of this universe. There was no doubt that once the seals on the next 3 continents were lifted, the news about the universe chip would definitely be exposed. Although he did not know how Aotian knew about it, Lin Fei was sure that the guys on the 8th and 9th floors were not ordinary people. Otherwise, how could they know so much about it? Lin Fei had not seen any news about the universe when he was in the Shangling continent. It could be said that the news in this area was blocked. Perhaps those guys in the you and me world might know something about it, but it was probably not as good as what Aotian had said. I'll go to the 9th floor and finish them off first. In order to prevent the news from leaking, Lin Fei decided to go to the 9th floor and kill those fellows. No, those old geezers. After all, the universe chip was of great importance. Even universe elites were being hunted down by the Eternal Church. Lin Fei had a lot of prestige, but as time went on, it would be a tragedy for him. In order to avoid a tragedy, regardless of whether the 2 gods Gu and Ngulin said it or not, he had to kill them. With more than 500 billion prestige, killing them would be a piece of cake. According to Aotian, the 9th floor was not a country, but a very special place. Those old guys were cultivating on the 9th floor, and they were all exceptionally strong. 9th floor. Gu En and God Gulin ran back. They would not talk about the universe chip. Instead, they said that an outsider was very powerful and had occupied the 8th floor. He said that he was going to break into the 9th floor and kill all of them. The people in the other 4 light balls were furious. If God Gu and had not said that they should wait and see, they would have killed their way to the 8th floor to kill the outsider. There was actually someone more arrogant than them in the primordial god's tomb. These outsiders deserved to die. Someone came in. God Gu En, who was among the 6 light balls, looked in one direction. They are really courting death. The 9th floor is not a place they can come to. Another light ball said. As soon as Lin Fei entered the 9th floor, he was met with a terrifying energy that seemed to want to tear his body apart. This energy was much stronger than the ones on the lower floors. Damn, there's suddenly such dense energy in a place where even birds don't shit. What the hell? Monstrous energy swarmed over and washed over Lin Fei in waves. At this moment, Lin Fei's body could withstand it easily. After all, this energy could not be controlled and could not be concentrated. It seemed fierce, but it could not affect Lin Fei for now. At the same time, Lin Fei saw the 6 huge light balls in the oppressive space. He could vaguely see figures sitting cross-legged in them. "Oh, guys, we are here to kill you." The rumbling sound reverberated. "How dare you?" Chapter 3268. The light spear that attacked was very powerful. With just one move, the space where Lin Fei was turned into a piece of white paper. Just this killer move alone was already very powerful, as it did not give the enemy any chance to resist. What outsider? You can't even block one of my killer moves. You can't even withstand a single blow. The figure in the light spear laughed out loud. Old Bai's killer move, void painting, is getting more and more exquisite. Old Gu, this is the outsider you mentioned. He seems to be too weak. The corners of Hierarch Gu An's and Hierarch Gu Lin's eyes twitched unnaturally. He was really very powerful the last time. Hierarch Gu An said awkwardly. Previously, he had bragged about how powerful the other party was. However, the current situation was really surprising. The experts on the 9th level were all prepared. The guy who could make Gu En and Gu Lin wary must be very powerful. Who would have thought that he would be so weak and be suppressed by a single move? Absolute space. Without any warning. Just as the 6 light spheres were feeling proud of themselves, a burst of laughter followed. While they were unprepared, a huge, bubble-like thing wrapped around them. The 6 light spheres did not care. Old Bai, who was the first to attack, laughed out loud and tore at the bubble with both hands. It was as though the thing in front of him could not withstand a single blow. A powerful force landed on the bubble, but it could not be torn apart. Let me. Another light sphere made a move. The sky was filled with saber gleams. After a series of sounds, the bubble remained intact. Interesting. Another light sphere made a move. His fist technique was unparalleled as he kept bombarding the bubble. The entire huge bubble kept shaking, but it could not be broken. Hierarch Gu En and Hierarch Gu Lin had seen how powerful the outsider was. Everyone, it's best to attack together. That kid is very strange. The 6 light spheres kept attacking the bubble. In the original Hierarch stage, 9th level, the 6 of them were the strongest. However, they could not tear the bubble apart. All their attacks landed on it like stones sinking into the ocean. As for escaping, they could not do it at all. The bubble sealed the space. It looked like a sealing method, but it was completely different from what they had imagined. It was more mysterious and terrifying. They could not break out. Everyone, feel good. Lin Fei came out of the space and looked at the 6 old men with a smile. Gu Lin, Gu En, we meet again. You didn't expect this, did you? He swaggered in front of Gu En and Gu Lin, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. You're really bold. When we come out, you're dead for sure. Hierarch Gu En shouted as he glared at Lin Fei with raging anger. If we come out, you'll be finished. Don't think that this broken thing can stop us. Hierarch Gu Lin attacked frantically. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes and said, Whoever kills them will live. You only have 5 breaths of time to consider. When the time is up, I'm sorry, but all of you will die. How arrogant. Who do you think it is? On the 9th floor, we rule everything. No one cared about Lin Fei's words. A bubble couldn't trap them at all, and it would only take them a while to get out. 5 breaths of time passed quickly. Lin Fei shook his head and said regretfully, Unfortunately, you don't know how to cherish the opportunity one gave you. He pointed at the 6 hierarch experts in the bubble. Die! With a bang, the huge bubble exploded. The 6 old men's faces instantly turned pale as they fell into darkness and completely lost consciousness. At the same time, on the 9th floor, the hidden clones all opened their eyes with fear and uneasiness in their eyes. My original body actually died. I couldn't even block a single move. What kind of move is that? It's too terrifying. One move and I'm dead. Gu En and Gu Lin's auras seemed to have disappeared. How is that possible? His original body and clone were killed together. How could he master such a secret technique? The 4 old men's faces completely changed. Such a thunderous blow killed their original bodies. The most terrifying thing was that Hierarch Gu En and Hierarch Gu Lin died directly. That was the most terrifying thing. If you don't want to die, come out. You have 5 breaths of time to consider. Don't say that I didn't give you a chance. A voice spread on the 9th floor. The same voice also fell into their ears. Should I go out? It was unthinkable for a peak ultimate god expert like them to be so weak and vulnerable in front of that smiling guy. Killing their original body in an instant was an unthinkable feat. Don't kill me. I'm coming out. The 5 breaths of time to consider gave them a strong sense of oppression. They had no choice but to come out. It was just one move, and they had no choice but to accept it. Gu En and Hierarch Gu Lin's auras had completely disappeared. The only explanation was that the attack just now had killed both their original bodies and their clones. They were completely dead. After the first, the second, and then the third. A total of 3 peak ultimate gods came out. The last peak ultimate god did not come out. It was Elder Bai, the one who made the first move. I don't believe that he can continuously use such a powerful killer move. Kill me if you can. Elder Bai rushed out and controlled a part of his power to compete with his opponent. Lin Fei chuckled. Since you want to die so badly, I'll fulfill your wish. At least you'll have a companion on the road to Gu En and Gulin. Looking at the time, it should be in time. Elder Bai's face was ferocious. Damn it, damn it. Lin Fei casually pointed his finger. The barrier formed by the dense energy was pierced through. Old Bai, who was about to attack with his full strength, suddenly let out a miserable shriek. Ah! It hurts so much! Elder Bai screamed again and again as his feet turned into nothingness bit by bit. His screams made one's hair stand on end as the nothingness swallowed Elder by inch. I was wrong. Please stop. I am willing to be your servant and slave as long as you don't kill me. I beg you. Ah! Elder Bai's screams were earth-shattering. In less than a few breaths of time, Old White was completely devoured by the void while screaming. When the last bit of his aura disappeared, Old White was completely dead. The 4 peak ultimate gods trembled subconsciously. Terrifying. It was too terrifying. They were horrified by the 2 methods. They had seen experts of the same level, but could not find anyone as powerful as Elder Bai. Such a powerful secret technique was at his fingertips, as if it did not cost anything. Don't kill me. I'm willing to serve you. I'm willing to be your servant. I'm also willing to follow you and fight on the battlefield for you. The 3 peak ultimate gods did not dare to have any extravagant hopes. Chapter 32:69. The 3 old geezers were terrified. They no longer dared to put on airs. In front of Lin Fei, all of them were unbelievably obedient. Don't resist. Let me plant something in your hearts. Lin Fei had only spent 100 billion reputation points to kill the 3 ultimate gods, which was much easier than killing special life forms. He had been observing them since he came in, afraid that they would find out about the universe chip. Fortunately, Gu En and Gu Lin did not expose it. Lin Fei killed Gu En and Gu Lin without hesitation and blocked the news of the universe chip. Lin Fei was quite concerned about the Eternal Vatican. It was not easy to offend such a giant. Zi Outyen's reaction was proof of that. They obeyed Lin Fei's orders obediently. Disobeying them would only lead to death. They could see that clearly. They would not dare to kill 3 ultimate gods in front and behind them with their avatars and bodies at the same time. A ultimate god was powerful enough to hide another avatar. As long as the avatar was not killed, the ultimate god would never die. It could even be a nightmare. However, their bodies and avatars had nowhere to hide in front of Lin Fei. Lin Fei planted the absolute control skill on them. Each skill consumed 5 billion reputation points and lasted for 1,000 years. After planting the absolute control skill, their lives were in Lin Fei's hands. Tell me everything you know. Lin Fei smiled. By the way, after you rush in, call me Lin number 1, Lin number 2, and Lin number 3. Got it? We'll remember, Master. Lin Fei shook his head. Don't call me Master. Call me Boss because you're working for me. Working for me is much better than being left to your own devices. Lin Fei quickly understood the situation on this level. They broke through the 9th level 30,000 years ago. It was rumored that there was a top-notch treasure on this level. However, they could not find it after searching for 3,000 years. Lin Fei knew that the top-grade treasure had been secretly taken away by Gu En and Hierarch Gu Lin. So, this is the only treasure on the 9th floor that's worth looking at? Lin Fei looked into the distance at the treasure that was emitting a faint glow like the scorching sun. Yes, boss. It's a special treasure that can release traces of cosmic energy. Lin 1 said, "We've always been cultivating around this treasure, not daring to approach it. The energy released by that treasure is extremely terrifying, able to kill us in an instant. After so many years, we only dare to stay in the periphery." Lin Fei narrowed his eyes and stared at the treasure. "Is the supreme divinity on the 10th floor?" Lin 1 shook his head. "I don't know. We haven't been able to find the way to the 10th floor. It's as if it doesn't exist. That old thing, supreme divinity, is very cunning. It won't be easy to find the 10th floor." Lin Fei was very interested in the original sentence. "Then, are you sure that the 10th floor exists?" Lin Fei asked. Lin 1 and the other two nodded. "Although that old thing, supreme divinity, is cunning, we believe that the 10th floor exists. After so many years of searching, we suspect that a place might be the entrance to the 10th floor. That place is right below the treasure that Boss saw. That's the only place that we think is possible." Lin Fei looked at that place, and the corners of his lips curled up. That treasure couldn't be seen clearly, and it was enveloped by traces of cosmic energy. The cosmic energy was black in color, and it carried a violent aura of destruction. Even though he was standing far away, Lin Fei could still feel the aura of the cosmic energy. "You guys stay here. I'll go take a look." Lin Fei flew toward that treasure. The treasure wasn't very far from where he was, but when Lin Fei approached it, the traces of cosmic energy attacked him. Crack! 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 Lin Fei's pure physical body was instantly left with bloodstains that continued to expand. Although the rhythm was not fast, he could still feel the expansion. Is this the cosmic energy? The primordial destruction force was considered powerful, but it seemed to be a far cry from the cosmic energy. Ever since Lin Fei cultivated the perfect physical body to its peak, it had been a long time since his body was injured. That was the only time he was able to tear apart his physical defense in an instant. The cosmic energy was amazing. Although the cosmic energy was amazing, Lin Fei really didn't think much of it. The system skills were all ridiculously powerful. An absolute space was enough to render a top ultimate god helpless. Go, go, go! Lin Fei continued to rush forward. The wounds on his physical body continued to expand. No matter how hard Lin Fei tried to resist, he could not withstand the cosmic energy's invasion. This kind of cosmic energy was very domineering. Anything that resisted it would be suppressed. Lin Fei could feel that the cosmic energy was not complete and was only released by a treasure. It was incomparable to the real cosmic energy. Lin Fei could see that very clearly. "Do you think Boss can rush to the treasure?" Lin 1 asked. "I think he should be able to." "I think so." The three top ultimate gods did not want their boss to die. Now that they were implanted with absolute control, they could not even think of resisting. They only hoped that their boss would not die inside. The treasure was very evil. If the 10th level did exist, then it was most likely that the entrance to the 10th level was beneath this treasure. Unfortunately, they had been unable to get close for so many years. The traces of cosmic energy were extremely overbearing and terrifying. "Boss, what a strong body. It's even deeper inside than us." Lin Fei's figure was getting closer to the treasure. Oh no, the treasure is exploding. A black ripple burst out from the area enveloped by the black energy and swept outwards. As soon as the black ripple appeared, they all felt a suffocating feeling. "Boss, be careful. That's a cosmic ripple that can destroy everything in an instant." Lin 1 and the others shouted as soon as the black ripple appeared. They had no choice, as the black ripple had killed a large number of experts who were basically 9th class ultimate gods. Since then, they could not afford to be careless, because it was terrifying. Lin Fei was getting closer to the treasure. His perfect physical body was showing signs of collapsing. As soon as the black ripple appeared, Lin Fei realized that his physical body could not withstand it anymore. The treasure was indeed terrifying. He could not help but wonder if it was the most powerful treasure ultimate God Yuangu had. If it was true, he would be rich. Absolute space. A bubble-like absolute space wrapped around Lin Fei. The black ripple swept onto Lin Fei's absolute space. With a crash, the absolute space was penetrated by the black ripple. Lin Fei was shocked. Level 2 absolute space. Another absolute space appeared on Lin Fei's body. The range was much smaller and blocked the black ripple. It was finally blocked. Chapter 3270. Lin number 1 and the other two were completely convinced now. Being enemies with such an expert was definitely a nightmare. That special treasure that they were unable to approach was easily approached by their boss. The ripples formed by the cosmic energy were unable to cause any damage to him. They could only admit that they were inferior to such miraculous means. With the help of the level 2 absolute space, Lin Fei seemed to have turned on a huge cheat code and easily approached the treasure. The entire process did not take more than the time it took to brew a cup of tea. The threat of the black ripples seemed to have become non-existent. To be able to allow Lin Fei to use the level 2 absolute space, this treasure was quite powerful. It also allowed him to see a new kind of energy. That treasure was getting closer and closer. The black ripples could no longer pose a threat, and Lin Fei saw the true face of the treasure. It's actually a special energy stone sealed in a ball made of a special material. What a good method. In front of Lin Fei was a ball-like object. The ball was completely black and covered in densely packed small holes. The traces of terrifying cosmic energy were coming from these small holes. Collect! Lin Fei reached out and grabbed, and the cosmic energy in the small holes surged out like swords. Lin Fei did not care about this threat at all. With the protection of the level 2 absolute space, he easily held the ball in his hand and quickly entered the system storage. The threat of the ball was suppressed. In the 9th level, the traces of threatening aura disappeared without a trace. The space also became ordinary. Open! Lin Fei threw a punch at the original location of the treasure. A door was faintly discernible. Boom, boom, boom. After over 100 punches, Lin Fei finally punched out a door. You hit it really well. With such a treasure protecting the door, who could barge in? No matter who it was, they would be helpless. It was a pity that they had encountered a special existence like Lin Fei. Lin Fei pushed with his hand, and the door opened. The 10th level. I wonder if the item left behind by divinity, Yuan Ju, is here. Who knows? Lin 1 and the other two shook their heads. The door that they dreamed of entering had now been entered by someone else, so they didn't dare to say anything. The 10th floor is already like this. Isn't this clearly a scam? He had thought that the 10th floor would be a very special place. In the end, when Lin Fei entered the 10th floor, it turned out to be a small cave dwelling. The area was very small, but he knew that when he passed through the door, he was actually transported to a special place. Lin Fei could clearly feel the subtle changes. He shouldn't be in the tomb of the god of sin, but he didn't know where he was. The cave was empty. At the very least, at first glance, there was nothing there, as if someone had entered before him. However, Lin Fei was clear that no one had entered before him. He was the first. What a strange place. Lin Fei muttered and began to search. He couldn't possibly return empty-handed. Not here. Empty again. Nothing either. The cave was not big. Lin Fei had almost searched the whole place. There is only one place left. Standing in front of a stone door, Lin Fei reached out his hand and pushed. The stone door cracked. He didn't care what was inside. He just went in violently. It's a stone platform. It looks like there is something inside. Yi Xian did see something on the stone platform. After checking and making sure there was no danger, Yi Xian grabbed the thing on the stone platform. It was quite heavy. He couldn't help but exclaim when he held it close to him. "It's something like a token!" After spending so much time, he only managed to find a token. What kind of joke was this? Lin Fei examined the medallion in his hand. It was a circular medallion, and on the front was the head of an unknown beast. It was ferocious and terrifying and had a faint evil aura about it. On the back were 3 words, "Heavenly Medallion." Interesting. How interesting. The 3 words "heaven-piercing medallion" gave people an exceptionally domineering feeling. It was not a big deal for Lin Fei. Although he did not know what the sky token was used for, it must be something special since the ultimate god had placed it on the 10th level. He stored it in the system. He did not know it now, but it did not mean he would not know it in the future. After looking around the cave and making sure there was nothing else, Lin Fei left the cave and returned to the 9th level of the tomb of the God of God. From the moment he entered to the moment he came out, it took him less than an hour. "Boss!" Lin 1 and the others came up to him. "Pack up. Let's leave the tomb of the God of God of God." The 3 top-level ultimate gods were overjoyed. The boss was indeed the boss. He could even take them out of the tomb of the God of God of God. Xiaoyan and the others were also ready. Lin Fei came out of the 9th level too quickly. He immediately understood what was going on when he saw the 3 top-level ultimate gods. "All right, let's leave the tomb of the God of God of God of God." His reputation on the 8th level had been refreshed several times. Lin Fei was not too interested. It was none of his business how chaotic the Tianyuan Empire would be in the future. The 5 trillion reputation gain was enough for him to sit back and relax for a long time. How can you be willing to give up the Tianyuan Empire? I know this empire is of great use to you, Zilong said to Lin Fei in Senfu. Lin Fei blinked. "It's just an empire. What do you think I'm good for?" "Ha ha ha," Zilong said in a serious tone. "Don't forget, we women have a 6th sense." Lin Fei had to admit that Zilong's feeling was right. She could actually feel the reputation he gained from the people of the empire. It was really unusual. As long as he refused to admit it, who would know? Reputation was invisible and colorless. It was not the same as faith. Outside the tomb of the God of God of God, the Bimung royal clan and the Lionman clan, who were the first to be chased out, were all waiting there. Ever since they were chased out by the barbarian kid, the Bimung royal clan's higher-ups were furious and immediately dispatched experts to surround the tomb of the god of Yuanju. They would attack as soon as the barbarian kid's Senfu appeared. In addition, a total of 6 of the 10 great royal clans came. Their purpose was the same. In particular, the 3 divine clans were killed by the Black Emperor's special life form on the 8th level. They could not do anything about it, especially when they knew they could not afford to offend the special life form. They could only blame it on the barbarian kid. Outside the tomb of the god of Yuanju, the divine clans and royal clans were on standby. They would not treat the barbarian kid lightly this time. Before this, the barbarians of the divine beast continent had been suppressed by them. Countless of them had died, and the rest had been captured and imprisoned in a large array behind them. They wanted the barbarian kid to know the consequences of offending them. For example, they would kill all the barbarians in front of the kid. The barbarian kid is coming out. There are spatial fluctuations. Everyone get ready. Chapter 3271. The Immortal Divine Clan, Breaking Sun Divine Clan, and Ancient Ape Divine Clan were working together for the first time. Their goal was to capture the barbarian kid who possessed the Senfu. They had witnessed the barbarian kid's performance in the tomb of the Yuan dynasty. The beast divine continent would be in trouble if they did not capture the barbarian kid. Possessing an immortal mansion that possessed unparalleled defense and offense was practically akin to having a tortoise's shell. By then, there would be no need to even think about taking down the other party. That was their only chance. No matter when the barbarian kid would come out, they believed that the Tian Yuan Empire would not be able to gain any advantage in the 8th floor. The Black Emperor's special life form was so strong that even the 3 divine clans were no match for it, let alone the barbarian kid who was alone. Even if he could escape unscathed, he would not be any better off. That was also the 3 divine clans' only chance. They would not have any more chances if they did not capture the barbarian kid. The world was so big and they could not keep chasing after him. They had no choice but to make up their minds. The top ultimate gods from the 3 divine clans reminded them. Inside the tomb of the god of sin, a wild wave was suddenly set off, all of which were energy fluctuations. The formation was activated. Treasures attacked. No matter who it was, they would break out in a cold sweat when they saw the situation. It was a fatal blow. Top ultimate gods from the 3 clans were also present at the scene that time. In order to deal with a single barbarian race, almost all of them had been mobilized. Such a thing had not happened for a very, very long time. But today a barbarian boy had caused the 10 great king clans and 3 great god clans to suffer a loss. The Senfu had just come out of the tomb of the Yuan dynasty. As soon as it appeared, waves of attacks fell on the Senfu. All kinds of elemental attacks and the suppression of treasures really made the Senfu temporarily immobile. Barbarian kid, you're finally willing to come out. You're dead this time. Ultimate God Manchi from the Bimeng royal clan led the ultimate gods to attack. Lowly barbarian kid, look behind us. That's all the barbarians in the beast divine continent. If you dare to resist, these barbarians will all die. You'll be the barbarian's sinner. In order to capture the brat from the barbarian race, they had put in a lot of effort. The barbarian tribes were uprooted, and not a single one was spared. Those who resisted were all killed, and the rest were all trapped in the formation. There were more than 5 million barbarians. The number of barbarians wasn't very high. Who asked the barbarians to have a lowly bloodline? They belonged to the kind that were easy to bully. So as time passed, the number of barbarians also decreased. At that moment, the 5 million berserkers in the rune were also staring at Senfu. There was no fear on their faces. Ever since they knew the reason, the barbarians all wanted to meet this powerful hero. Yes, he was a hero. In the eyes of the barbarians, there had never been a barbarian who could attract 6 of the 10 great royal clans and 3 great god clans to attack at the same time. If this wasn't heroic, then what was? Even if they died, they would have no regrets. The barbarians were going to rise. If it wasn't unbelievably strong, how could there be such a scene? When the Senfu appeared, they were indeed shocked. Although they didn't see any of their clansmen, it was hard not to know what was going on when a Senfu came out of the tomb of the god of sin. How dare they make a move on the boss? Lin Wan and the others were furious. Now that they were under someone's control, they had to perform well if they wanted to live a good life. Now was their chance to perform. Boss, let us go out and suppress them. They're just a bunch of arrogant fellows with a bit of strength. If we don't teach them a lesson, they won't know how powerful the boss is. With top-notch ultimate gods around, Lin Fei wouldn't make a move. You guys go. Remember, only kill the mastermind. Forget about the rest. Lin Fei ordered. Every living being could contribute prestige. After accumulating 5 trillion prestige, Lin Fei was ready to take over the saintly spirit continent and the divine beast continent to build an empire. When the 3rd continent was unsealed, he would directly attack them. While the 5 continents were not completely unsealed, he would do his best to accumulate prestige. Lin Fei still remembered Zi Outyen's words clearly. Who knew if the Eternal Church's lackeys would come looking for the universe chip? This matter had to be prepared in advance. Lin Fei couldn't afford to be careless. Lin Wan and the other 2 arrived outside of the Senfu. They were immediately attacked by a torrential storm. All 3 of them were top-notch ultimate gods. Their attacks were blocked by the barrier. The 3 ultimate gods attacked in 3 different directions, corresponding to the 3 primordial tribes. To catch bandits, first catch the ringleader. This principle was applicable everywhere. Lin 1 moved through the formation and landed in front of the ancient ape tribe. How dare you attack the boss? You all deserve to die. He slammed his palm down. The palm strike was like a real palm that covered the entire ancient ape celestial race. The bodies of the godly venerables crumbled as they screamed in pain. It's a top-notch ultimate god. Where did he find them? This is impossible. One palm was enough to make the ancient ape tribe's top-notch ultimate god pale. They were in the same realm, but the opponent's methods were much more powerful. His palm was filled with the aura of death. Just one palm was enough to kill or injure the ancient ape tribe's ultimate gods. Almost no one could withstand the power of that palm. It was the same for the other two primordial tribes. They weren't any better. The three primordial tribes that dominated the beast divine continent were weak and vulnerable in front of the three enemies. The three primordial tribes are going to lose. Damn it. Those are top-notch ultimate gods. Why would they listen to that barbarian kid? This is impossible. The primordial tribes are invincible. The royal tribe ultimate gods who attacked were also pale as they watched the scene unfold before them. In a short while, most of the three ultimate gods experts were dead. The three leaders were at a disadvantage and could be killed at any time. Run. We're done for when they get free. Retreat. The royal tribe ultimate gods were no longer calm. It was a one-sided situation. They would be dead if they didn't leave now. Brat from the barbarian tribe, hurry up and tell your people to stop. Your tribe is locked up in the formation. As long as I give the order, your tribe will all die. Ultimate god Meng-Chi shouted. His body was slightly trembling, but he was more excited. If he could use the barbarian tribe to subdue the barbarian kid, he would have made a great contribution to the three primordial tribes and greatly increased the influence of the beaming royal tribe. As soon as he finished speaking, a hand stretched out with 5 fingers spread open and grabbed at ultimate god Meng-Chi. A huge force struck, and the majestic ultimate god Meng-Chi turned into a pool of blood on the spot. Chapter 3272. The three clans besieged the barbarian kid, but the result was a crushing defeat. Lin No. 1 and the other 2 peak ultimate gods wiped out the experts from the 3 clans as soon as they made a move. The royal experts ran away as soon as they saw the situation. Originally, they had come in a threatening manner, but in the end they ran away like stray dogs. After the tomb of the god of sin, there was a sudden silence. Boss, should we go after them? Lin No. 1 came back to report. No need. Lin Fei was really reluctant to kill them. They were all major grain producers, and it would be a pity to kill them all. Lin Fei would not blindly kill them now. He needed to kill them in the beginning, so it was better to keep them alive than to kill them. After all, they would contribute to his prestige. Now that this matter had spread, it was inevitable that his prestige would soar. For example, right now, the millions of berserkers had immediately contributed a great amount of prestige to Lin Fei. Millions of barbarian disciples were also dumbfounded by the killing. They had come at them menacingly, but they had suffered a crushing defeat without much fighting. It was a rather inconceivable thing. The current leader of the barbarians was extremely excited. He was pale just a moment ago, but now he knew that the barbarians were going to rise again. There was a powerful expert in the barbarians. They did not see the 3 peak ultimate gods being so vulnerable. They only dared to think about it in their minds. They were shocked from the beginning. Their lowly barbarian bloodline had never produced a powerful expert. However, he really believed it at that moment. Even if the leader of the barbarians did not know Lin Fei, the barbarian aura on him was genuine. He was a barbarian. Kneel down and worship me. God has opened his eyes. The barbarians are going to soar. Millions of barbarians knelt down in front of Lin Fei and worshipped him sincerely. Lin Fei was quite satisfied with the prestige he gained from his contribution. Your Majesty Lin, thank you for bringing us out. We're leaving now. Xiaoyan came out of Senfu and said to Lin Fei, I'm quite busy now. You're welcome to visit after I'm done. Lin Fei said with a smile. No problem. Xiaotian's parents left with a group of experts. Lin Fei didn't stop them. He believed that they would meet again soon. Moreover, he had something he had to do now. That was to consolidate the resources of the Saint Spirit Continent and the Divine Beast Continent. Lin Fei clearly remembered Xiaotian's words. The universe chip had also become one of Lin Fei's goals. This was related to whether or not he could return to Earth. Within the Saint Spirit Continent and the Divine Beast Continent, the news of the 3 god tribes and the royal tribe being scared away by a brat from the barbarian tribe spread, like wildfire. To the humans, this was a piece of good news. For example, the human race that had escaped from the Divine Beast Continent to the Saint Spirit Continent were basically all elites. They had allied with the human race of the Saint Spirit Continent. Within the Divine Beast Continent, an expert had risen from the barbarian race. They did not dare to believe it. When had the barbarian race become so powerful? As this matter spread across the 2 continents, they could not help but believe it was true. This made them heave a sigh of relief. It was for the best that the Divine Beast Continent was in chaos. At the very least, it gave them a chance to struggle at death's door. Ever since the 2 continents merged, the Saint Spirit Continent had been suppressed by the Essence Beasts. If not for the incident at the Primordial God's tomb, the Saint Spirit Continent would not have been able to hold on. The Divine Beast Continent had produced an expert from the barbarian race. If the 3 god tribes had been defeated, they might be in chaos for a long time. This was what they wanted to see. It would be best if both sides suffered. Divine Beast Continent, Lin Fei was warmly invited back by the barbarian race's leader. To the millions of barbarian race people, they felt like they were on a roller coaster. From the moment they were captured, they had never thought that they could survive. In the history of the Divine Beast Continent, no one could survive the encirclement of the 3 god tribes. The millions of people contributed a lot of prestige. Lin Fei did not reject them and stayed in the barbarian race's tribe for a short period of time. The Divine Beast Continent looked peaceful. However, everyone knew that there was a change. The expert from the barbarian race was too mysterious. Not only was he strong, but he also owned a senfu. The most frightening thing was that he brought a peak ultimate god from the primordial god's tomb. This was an unimaginable thing. After so many years, who could bring a living person out of the primordial god's tomb? This guy from the barbarian race had done something that no one could do. 3 peak ultimate gods. All of them were extremely powerful among the veteran experts. Boss, the 3 god tribes are now holding up. Lin number 1 and the other 2 had not been idle these days. Lin Fei was lying on a deck chair under a tree. Panjian was massaging him with moderate strength. Lin Fei, who was squinting his eyes, was enjoying the massage. Wrong. They are holding up, but they are actually discussing countermeasures. Lin Fei chuckled. The rise of a barbarian race isn't scary. What's scary is that they have the strength to crush them. With the defeat of the 3 god tribes, the 2 continents contributed more than 800 billion reputation points to Lin Fei in a short period of time. The huge increase in reputation points had put Lin Fei in a very good mood. Should we go to their door and capture all of them? There are no tigers in the mountains, so the monkeys call themselves kings. Who do they think they are? They are just ants in front of boss. Lin number 1 also knew how to flatter. The 3 of us will go to their door. The divine tribes and royal clans are all trash. They can't even withstand a single blow. Lin number 2 followed. Lin number 1 and the other 2 came out of the primordial god's tomb. It was like a dragon returning to the sea. They were quite disdainful of the experts from the Divine Beast Continent and Shungling Continent. Only Lin Fei could subdue them. After all, they had seen their boss' terrifying strength. Help me inform the 10 great royal clans and the 3 great god clans. Tell them that I will invite them to a banquet in the barbarian tribe 10 days later. I will also discuss an important matter. I hope that they will arrive on time. Lin Fei said lazily. Who would dare to not come when boss invites them? Feng Yan, make a trip to Shengling continent and look for your people. For example, your father. Tell them that I want to meet them. After Lin number 1 and the other 2 left, Lin Fei said to Panjian, You want to meet my father? Panjian was delighted. Of course. Don't you think that the Divine Beast continent and Shunling continent are a little chaotic now? Lin Fei squinted his eyes. Panjian picked a piece of fruit for Lin Fei to eat. Thank you. Panjian was very smart. She knew that the Divine Beast continent and Shunling continent were going to become an empire-like existence under the control of this man. Since Lin Fei didn't go to destroy the 3 god tribes and the 10 royal clans, Panjian could more or less guess some things. She knew that this was an opportunity for the human race to gain some benefits. Chapter 3273. When the Beast Divine continent merged with the Shunling continent, everyone knew it would be a crushing defeat for the human clan with the Beast Divine continent's ruling ability. However, an expert from the barbarian tribe emerged and brought out a top-notch expert from the Divine Tomb, which changed the Beast Divine continent's power structure. Lin number 1 and the other 2 visited one by one. The situation changed again. No royal clan dared to do anything when a top-notch ultimate god visited. They allowed the barbarian tribe to swagger in. Soon a piece of news spread. The barbarian tribe expert wanted to see them 10 days later. This wasn't good news. For those royal clan ultimate gods who knew Lin Fei, the situation was within their expectations. Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe was the most powerful. The 3 divine clans were no longer capable. During the siege that day, the experts from the 3 divine clans were either killed or ran away. Even the top-notch ultimate gods ran away in the end. The 3 divine clans, Ancient Ape Divine Clan. It was very lively that day. The top-notch ultimate gods from the other 2 divine clans were there. Even now, they could not forget how they had run away in a sorry state that day. That Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe is too despicable. We are the 3 divine clans. Ancient Stone Divine Lord said angrily, Why should we go there? We must come up with a countermeasure for this matter. The 3 divine clans must not bow to that guy. Breaking Sun Divine Clan's top-notch ultimate god Mu Lai said coldly. Indeed, we must come up with a countermeasure. Immortal Divine Clan's ultimate god Zhao Hu said, But with our strength, I'm afraid we are no match for those 3 guys. They naturally knew they were no match for them. They were the best of the best. If I'm not mistaken, Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe wants to be above us and rule over 2 continents. After all, the Shungling continent will not be able to do anything as long as he can suppress us. Therefore, we must seek outside help. Ancient Stone Divine Lord said, You mean those guys from Yuanya world? Hierarch Mu Lai frowned slightly. Those guys aren't good people. We have been suppressing them. Once they open their mouths, Brother Mu, look at the situation now. If we don't fight back, then our 3 god clans will be nothing. Look at the 10 king clans. They were so obedient in the past, but now they have taken the initiative to court the barbarian race. The 3 ultimate gods fell silent. Soon he made his decision. That barbarian tribe's Lin Fei wants to suppress us. Let's draw those guys over and see how that guy deals with them. No one knew better than them that those fellows in Yuan Mia world were not to be trifled with, especially the peak ultimate gods behind them who were much stronger than them. On the other side, Panjian also found her father, Feng Jiutian, who also had a very domineering name. In the past, the Beast Divine continent was also an overlord and a leader of the human alliance. His strength was infinitely close to that of a peak ultimate god, But in the end, he could not stop the fierce encirclement of the beast divine continent experts. Hierarch Feng Jiutian had always felt guilty for his daughter, especially when he knew that she had fallen into the hands of the giant royal tribe. Those guys were not easy to deal with, not to mention that it was the most difficult time for the human clan. Father, just trust me. This is our chance. Pan Jian was very clear about Lin Fei's strength, but he's from the barbarian race. Don't tell me he's fooling us. Hierarch Feng Jiutian frowned. Although he has suppressed the three god clans, the three god clans are not easy to deal with. This time they have been suppressed. I believe they will soon fight back, such as finding allies. We will never know how terrifying the three god clans are if we don't fight them. Pan Jian sneered. Father, even if the three god clans find help, they won't be a match for the barbarian Lin Fei. Do you think the special life forms are strong? Hierarch Feng Jiutian felt that his daughter seemed to have changed a little. Of course, the strength of the special life forms is so strong that even peak ultimate gods have to step aside. Every special life form has a special ability. I was lucky enough to see it once in the past. It was really thrilling. Why are you mentioning this? If the barbarian Lin Fei killed the special life form with one move, what do you think will happen? Pan Jian dropped a bombshell. One move to kill. This. Hierarch Feng Jiutian was indifferent. That's nonsense. No, I saw it with my own eyes. He killed the special life form with one move. Do you think the three god clans can still turn the tables? At that moment, Hierarch Feng Jiutian was moved. He believed that his daughter would not lie. If that was the case, it would really be a big problem. Beast Divine Continent. The few ultimate gods who had seen Lin Fei's strength went to report the news as soon as they heard the news. It seemed like they wanted to cut ties with the three god clans. What were the three god clans to someone who could kill the special life form? No matter how strong they were, could they compete with the barbarian Lin Fei? Stop joking. Among the 10 royal clans, a total of 5 royal clans acted the fastest. They personally came to visit. Although it was said to be a visit, it was actually to report the situation. Not to mention that they were snobbish, they were actually very smart. As long as they followed Lin Fei closely, their influence would always be there in the future. As for those who were enemies with Lin Fei, they would all become history. They were the clearest about this. If they did not curry favor with him now, when would they wait? 10 days passed in a flash. The rise of the barbarian clan, Lin Fei, changed the situation of the Beast Divine Continent. Under normal circumstances, whoever dared to ignore the royal clans was destined to be surrounded and annihilated. This time, the royal clans bowed their heads, and the divine clans did not say a word. The soul beasts of the Beast Divine Continent felt as if there was a huge mountain above their heads. This mountain came from the barbarian Lin Fei. To the soul beasts of the Beast Divine Continent, being stepped on by a lowly barbarian was something that no one wanted to see. They secretly hoped that the divine clan could suppress the barbarians again. In the Beast Divine Continent, anyone could rise, but the barbarians could not. The barbarian tribe. Ever since Lin Fei stayed here, the surrounding area was the barbarian tribe's territory. The surrounding neighbors tactfully surrendered to the barbarians. In a short period of time, the barbarian strength had increased greatly. Although they could not compare to the royal clans, it was only a matter of time. On the 10th day, the Beast Divine Continent's tribes, big and small, were all watching the barbarian tribe. Everyone knew that if nothing happened today, it would be a big deal if something happened. In a courtyard of the tribe, boss, the 3 god clans did not come. Lin number 1 came in to report. The 10 royal clans are all here, and they even sent a generous gift. Lin Fei smiled. It would be strange if the 3 god clans bowed their heads. However, I believe that they will definitely come. Lin number 1 and the rest did not understand why their boss did not let them attack the barbarians. No matter how strong the 3 god clans were, they were nothing in their eyes. Chapter 3274. The Barbarian Tribe. The ultimate gods from the 10 royal clans had all come, obediently. They were all standing outside the yard. Even though they were unwilling, they understood one thing. Even though they were from the royal clans, they could not fight back. The Giant Clan, the Behemoth Royal Clan, the Lionmen Clan, and the Tigermen Clan were the most unwilling, but they had also become obedient. In the tomb of the god of Yuanju, the divine Venerable Lin Fei from the Barbarian Clan was the biggest winner. The 3 royal clans had been eliminated, and the royal clans had been driven out. Only the other 6 royal clans could benefit a little. They had collected a lot of good stuff on the 8th level of the Tianyuan Empire. This time, they came without hesitation. They had made their stand. Everyone knew who would rule the world in the future. Except for the divine Venerable Lin Fei from the Barbarian Clan, there was no one else. The 3 royal clans had to step aside. Divine Venerable Lin Fei is here. Lin Fei walked out of the yard unhurriedly. The divine venerables of the 10 royal clans all lowered their heads. They did not dare to look him in the eye, especially Lin 1 and the other 2. They were terrifying existences. Not bad, not bad. You are all here. Lin Fei glanced at them. It was expected that the 10 royal clans would come. They would not dare not come even if they were 100 times more courageous. The Behemoth Royal Clan, the Giant Clan, and the other royal clans felt as if they had been cut by a sharp knife when Lin Fei glanced at them. Thump, thump. The Behemoth Royal Clan, the Giant Clan, and the other royal clans all knelt on the ground. Divine Venerable Lin, we were wrong. We will not dare to go against you from now on. The divine venerable of the Behemoth Royal Clan said loudly. We were blind in the beginning. We did not know how powerful divine Venerable Lin was. Now, we would not dare to go against you even if we were 100 times more courageous. From now on, if divine Venerable Lin needs anything, we will do our best. The 4 royal clans did not care about their reputation anymore. The other 6 royal families all heaved a sigh of relief. It was fortunate that they had seen how powerful Lin Fei was. If they had offended him back then, they would probably be in the same situation as them now. Lin Fei laughed and said, You guys are too timid. If I were to kill you, would you still be standing here? The members of the beaming royal family kept wiping their sweat. Although it was just a few words, it was very stressful for ultimate gods like them. If anyone believed Lin Fei's words, they would have died many times over. At the very least, they were relieved this time. At least the divine Lord Lin Fei of the Barbarian Tribe would not harm them. However, not killing you doesn't mean I won't punish you. Lin Fei said, You don't have any objections, right? No, absolutely not. We accept the punishment. They all answered honestly. Isn't that Feng Jiutian? How dare he come? When the 10 royal families met with Lin Fei, Feng Jiutian came with his men. Ever since he heard his daughter's words, Feng Jiutian could not sit still and had to come. It was an opportunity for the human clan, especially when he knew that the barbarian Lin Fei did not hate humans. The barbarians did not have much hostility towards humans, especially when they saw Panjian. She was Lin Fei's maid, so they naturally did not dare to offend her. Feng Jiutian was actually quite worried when he landed in the barbarian tribe's territory until they took the initiative to greet him and put down a stone. Feng Jiutian, how dare you come here? The high-level ultimate god from the beaming royal family stared at Feng Jiutian with murderous intent. When he saw the 10 royal families, Feng Jiutian completely believed that the barbarian Lin Fei could suppress the royal families. In this period, whether it was the beaming royal family, the Giant Clan, or even the Golden War God Clan, none of them were to be trifled with. Feng Jiutian also noticed the 3 peak ultimate gods with terrifying auras standing behind the young man. Master, Panjian said to Lin Fei before glaring at the beaming royal family, If you can come, why can't my father? You're really arrogant. The ultimate god from the beaming royal family ultimate god Mengxian, was the strongest high-level ultimate god in the Beiming royal family and was currently a grade 9 ultimate god. At the same time, he was one of the royal families that preferred war among the 10 royal families. The Beiming royal family contributed a lot to the human alliance's quick defeat. Seeing his old enemy Feng Jiuqian again made ultimate god Mengxian want to kill him. Hence he said those words. However, he did not expect to be rebutted by Pan Jian and immediately kept quiet. Everyone knew that there were 2 servants next to the barbarian ultimate god Lin Fei. One was Pan Jian and the other was Hufeng. Why, you don't dare to say anything? Didn't you want to kill me? Come on, come on. My father and I are standing here for you to kill. Pan Jian was full of confidence. The fact that the 10 noble families were standing here was the best proof. Ultimate god Mengxian took a deep breath. Pan Jian, you've misunderstood. It was just a joke. You can't take it seriously. The giant royal family, Golden War God clan, and other royal families were gloating. The Beiming royal family was a big mouth and dared not say anything. They did not know what was going on. Feng Jiuqian was under a lot of pressure facing any of the 10 imperial clans' high-level ultimate gods. But they kept quiet this time. He could even see the envy and jealousy in their eyes inadvertently. All right, this must be Brother Feng. Lin Fei said. Ultimate god Feng Jiuqian said. You flatter me, ultimate god Lin. I'm just a stray dog. It seems like the divine clan hasn't arrived yet. Let's wait a little longer. Lin Fei walked back to the courtyard and lay lazily on a chair. Pan Jian took the initiative to massage him. The 10 royal families hesitated for a moment and did not dare to enter the courtyard. Brother Feng, you've really given birth to a good daughter. I'm envious of her. Brother Feng, please take care of me in the future. Feng Jiuqian had yet to digest what had happened that day. The royal family's ultimate god, who used to be his enemy, took the initiative to congratulate him. Well said, well said. Only Lin Fei and Pan Jian were in the courtyard. Master, are you really going to wait for the divine clan to come? Pan Jian whispered. I have to finish what I started. After all, I've given the divine clan a chance. Lin Fei smiled. However, I'll only give them the time it takes to burn a stick of incense. Pan Jian chuckled. Master is so mean. I'm afraid they won't be able to make it in time. Who's mean? Lin Fei closed his eyes to rest. The time it took to burn a stick of incense passed in the blink of an eye. There was still no trace of the divine clan. You can come in. I have something to discuss with you. The ultimate gods from the 10 royal families and Feng Jiuqian walked into the courtyard. They felt great pressure and fear when they passed by the 3 pinnacle ultimate gods. The pinnacle ultimate gods were too terrifying. From now on, I'm in charge of the Beast Divine Continent and Shangling Continent. However, I won't care what you do as long as you follow my orders. If you have any objections, you can voice them out. The royal family's ultimate gods had expected such an outcome. Chapter 3275. No objections. We have no objections. Hierarch Lin wants to control the Divine Beast Continent and Saint Spirit Continent. We 100% agree. It's time for the 3 gods' tribes to scram. Yes, the 3 gods' tribes have no capabilities and only know how to oppress us. The hierarchs of the 10 great king tribes nodded their heads immediately, smearing the 3 gods' tribes. One of Lin Fei's words was exactly what they were thinking. If not for the 3 gods' tribes suppressing them, the 10 great king tribes would have long erupted into conflict. They wouldn't be acting so amiably now. Lin Fei said that he wanted to control the 2 continents and let them do whatever they wanted. This was a good thing. Why wouldn't they agree? At this moment, they were all feeling rather refreshed. Brother Feng, you formed the Human Race Alliance before. I'll leave the Saint Spirit Continent to you. Lin Fei said to Feng Jiuqian. Leave the Saint Spirit Continent to me? Feng Jiutian suspected that he had heard wrongly. This was truly a meteoric rise. Lin Fei looked at Feng Jiutian. Why? Are you afraid? Feng Jiutian had never expected that this barbarian race Lin Fei would entrust such an important task to him. As long as they don't come looking for trouble, I'm very confident in controlling the human race in the Saint Spirit continent. As the leader of the Human Race Alliance, Feng Jiutian was still very confident. That's not good, Lin Fei said. I believe that they won't give you any trouble. Don't you think so? The 10 great king tribes nodded their heads, indicating that they wouldn't go looking for trouble in the Saint Spirit continent. Within 5 years, I'll definitely unify the powers in the Saint Spirit continent. As a human, Feng Jiutian had to consider for the human race. Ever since the 2 continents merged, the human race in the Saint Spirit continent had been retreating. It was only a matter of time before they were defeated. If not for the widespread use of enchanted equipment, they would have been defeated even faster. Feng Jiutian was confident in unifying the human race. With the news from his daughter and his personal experience, Hierarch Feng Jiutian believed Lin Fei's words. Perhaps this was a good thing for the human race. At the very least, they wouldn't have to worry about being enslaved. Lin Fei gave a simple explanation of his future plans, be it the Saint Spirit continent or the Divine Beast continent. Lin Fei wasn't prepared to care about them. However, there was one thing he had to do. That was to erect energy pagodas. With trillions of reputation in his hands, Lin Fei could finally purchase them in bulk. If he were to popularize them in the Beast God continent and Saint Spirit continent, the efficiency of earning reputation would be even faster. Lin Fei had been looking forward to this day for a long time. If it were not for the fact that the tomb of the god of sin could not be connected to the outside world, Lin Fei would have been willing to set up an energy tower. After all, a mosquito was still meat. Unfortunately, he could not contact that space after coming out. They're here. Lin Fei, who was resting with his eyes closed, suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the sky outside. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Space fluctuated. Warships appeared in the sky above the barbarians. Each warship was very mighty, and at the same time, they exuded a fierce and domineering aura. There were a total of 20 such warships. On the deck of the warships stood ultimate gods experts, who were level 6 ultimate gods and above. There were more than 1,000 ultimate gods experts from the 20 warships. Among them, 80% were high-level ultimate gods. In addition, there were more than 200 level 9 ultimate gods, with each of them exuding an extremely strong aura. The young man in the yard is Lin Fei. Don't give him any chance. Attack now. Gu Shi Divine Lord stood on a warship and stared at the young man in the yard. A barbarian kid. Kill him first. This time, the 3 divine clans had put in a lot of effort in order to invite help. They had invited 20 top-level ultimate gods and more than 200 level 9 ultimate gods. Anyone who dared to challenge the rule of the 3 divine clans would have to face annihilation. The 3 top-level ultimate gods at the door are from the tomb of the god of sin. They have some good stuff with them. Kill them, and we don't want anything. Ultimate god Mulai said, "Thank you for your help." 20 peak ultimate gods. What kind of lineup was that? It was absolutely terrifying. Among the 10 great royal clans, the Beaming Royal Clan and the others were secretly laughing. Barbarian Lin Fei was definitely going to die this time. 20 ultimate gods stood together, and their suppressive aura was like a tidal wave. Wave after wave of suppressive aura made people feel suffocated. They wanted to take action immediately if they could. However, they decided to hold back when they thought about the 3 top-level ultimate gods. Your problem is our problem. You're just a mere barbarian. Leave the 3 top-level ultimate gods to us. A black-armored ultimate god said with a cold gleam in his eyes. They're just 3 top-level ultimate gods. They'll be dead as soon as we take action. The 20 top-level ultimate gods looked indifferent. They would not have bothered to come if it was not for the price they had to pay. They really did not care about such a small fight. "Kid, are you going to surrender, or do you want us to kill you?" A series of loud shouts came over the yard like a storm. Uft, uft. The 10 royal clans' high-level ultimate gods snorted and vomited blood as they retreated. Lin Fei gently waved his hand and raised a protective shield in front of him. He applauded them. "Not bad, not bad. You managed to find 20 top-level ultimate gods and more than 200 ninth-class ultimate gods. It's just the right time to capture all of you." Ancient Stone Divine Lord was the most ruthless person. "You're quite arrogant. With just 3 top-level ultimate gods. Number 1, they're looking down on you." Lin Number 1 and the others were the most powerful existences in the Divine Tomb. Who would dare to say such things in front of them? "Boss, leave the 20 top-level ultimate gods to us." Lin Number 1 threw out a few words and charged towards the 20 warships. Lin Number 2 and Lin Number 3 followed closely behind, all of them summoning their treasures to attack. The 3 top-level ultimate gods took action with the 3 treasures and immediately gave the 20 top-level ultimate gods a show of strength. "Leave the 3 of them to us. You can deal with that, kid." Ancient Stone Divine Lord and the others did not take action. Not taking action did not mean they did not have a target. That target was Lin Fei. They knew how powerful Senfu was. Now that the Senfu was gone, they were confident they could take down Lin Fei. The 3 top-level ultimate gods would have to behave themselves. "Lin Fei, you're just a barbarian. How dare you bully the beaming royal family?" Divine Lord Meng Xian suddenly roared as he grabbed his war hammer with both hands and swung it at Lin Fei. As a proud member of the beaming royal family, how could Divine Lord Meng Xian be willing to submit to a lowly barbarian? He had been waiting for an opportunity, and it had finally come. As long as he could kill the guy in front of him, it would be equivalent to making a great contribution. "Meng Xian, how dare you?" This time, there was no need for Lin Fei to take action. Among the 10 royal clans, 5 jumped out. They were the royal clans from Senfu and stood in front of Divine Lord Meng Xian. Divine Lord Meng Xian could not figure out why they dared to stop him. "You're from the royal clans. Why don't you kill him?" Divine Lord Meng Xian said angrily. "You're crazy." They all knew Lin Fei had killed special life forms. Were top-level ultimate gods very powerful? Could they be as powerful as special life forms? "Brother Meng, we're here to help you." Chapter 3276. The 3 major clans had paid a huge price to suppress Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe. Even if Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe was extremely powerful, he would not be able to withstand the joint attack of so many ultimate gods. The beaming royal tribe had long held a grudge against Lin Fei. The 3 major clans had brought powerful reinforcements, and they immediately realized that their opportunity had come. They immediately took action after the 3 top-notch experts beside Lin Fei left. Other than that, more than 200 Grade 9 ultimate gods did not stay idle as they all charged toward Lin Fei. What was a crushing defeat? No one could stop the power in front of them, no matter who it was crushing. However, they were up against Lin Fei, a devil who had mastered a terrifying skill. Therefore, they were doomed to be unlucky. Foam, Zhou Panjian, and the other ultimate god experts all rushed forward. Compared to the powerful reinforcements, their resistance was insignificant. After a few rounds, they were at a disadvantage and were in danger of losing their lives. "Kid, you're just a lowly bloodline fellow, yet you dare to strut around in front of me?" Ultimate God Meng Xian broke through the blockade and was the first to reach Lin Fei. His face was ferocious and full of murderous intent. "I won't kill you right away. That'll be too easy on you." Ultimate God Meng Xian had no holy abode or top-level ultimate gods. What else could ultimate god Meng Xian have to fight against him? The corner of Lin Fei's mouth curled up. Humph, I gave you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. Facing ultimate god Meng Xian's warhammer, Lin Fei smiled faintly. One of his hands rose into the air and silently punched the warhammer. With a loud crack, the warhammer was covered with cracks. Ultimate god Meng Xian hurriedly withdrew the warhammer. The cracks on the warhammer made him feel pain. It was impossible for the warhammer to be damaged by a punch. Lin Fei from the barbarian tribe was only relying on Senfu and the expert beside him. Without these external forces, he was nothing. However, the current situation was completely wrong. Again, divine venerable Meng Xian roared, and his body transformed into a huge behemoth primordial beast. It was like a huge mountain, burly, fierce, and domineering. Shadows of warhammers continued to descend. This time, Lin Fei did not counterattack. Instead, he walked towards divine venerable Meng Xian step by step. The shadow of his warhammer slammed into a shield. The shield's defense was unbelievably strong. It's over. Lin Fei arrived in front of Hierarch Meng Xian, just like that, as if the distance between them did not exist. A huge fist appeared in front of divine Lord Meng Xian. You! When Hierarch Meng Xian faced this punch, he was unable to even think of resisting. The strongest defense of the beaming royal race was broken by a single punch from his opponent. His enormous body was split into pieces. This was a true killing blow. Ultimate God Meng Xian was not a top-level ultimate god. How could he withstand Lin Fei's punch? The ultimate gods who were still encircling the giant tribe and the Lion Man tribe were actually paying attention to Lin Fei's situation. If it was possible, they wanted to be the first one to capture that fellow. In the end, the Beeman royal tribe beat them to it. However, the scene in front of them really shocked them. Without the help of Senfu and top-level ultimate gods, Hierarch Meng Xian, who was a high-level ultimate god, was easily killed without any resistance. It was different from what they had imagined. How can he be so powerful? More than 200 ninth-class ultimate gods had also noticed Lin Fei at that moment. Their eyes were filled with contempt as they separated into a group and surrounded him. Lin Fei sneered in the face of those ninth-class ultimate gods and punched directly at the root of the problem. A huge gust of wind from his punch blew past them. A horrifying scene appeared. Those ninth-class ultimate gods' bodies collapsed one after another without exception. In the blink of an eye, more than 200 ninth-class ultimate gods were annihilated. We were wrong. The Giant Clan ultimate god immediately gave up and knelt on the ground. The Lion Man clan, Tiger Man clan, and Golden War God clan were all dumbfounded. Their strong bodies trembled slightly as their faces turned pale. Don't kill us, we were wrong. We won't dare to do it again. They all gave up resisting and knelt on the ground. More than 200 ninth-class ultimate gods were completely annihilated. They would not dare to attack again, even if they were given 100 guts. That guy was too terrifying. Who would dare to attack if they knew his actual strength was so strong? They hated Hierarch Meng Xian to the core at that moment. Who would dare to attack without him taking the lead? Great, they had made one mistake after another. The barbarian tribe really had an unparalleled super expert. If you don't want to die, come down and stand still. Lin Fei did not look at the ultimate gods from the royal clan and said to the 20 top-level ultimate gods in the sky. 20 top-level ultimate gods besieged Lin One and the others, but were unable to gain any advantage. It was a very unbelievable thing. The instant Lin Fei killed more than 200 ninth-class ultimate gods with absolute strength. It was a huge blow to them. Although they could also do it, it was not as easy as Lin Fei. How much strength was needed to do that? Who do you think you are? Do you really think you can defeat us just because you killed ninth-class ultimate gods? The black-armored ultimate god sneered and slashed with his sword. A sword light passed through the void and slashed at Lin Fei's protective shield. The protective shield slightly dented and the sword light bounced off. Not bad. Continue. Lin Fei smiled and said, "Go ahead and slash as many times as you can. Let me see how strong you and me world experts are. Don't hold back, just come." The black-armored ultimate god was furious when he heard those words. No one had ever dared to underestimate him and his tyrannical strength. By the way, there's also you guys. 20 top-level ultimate gods besieging 3 of my subordinates. Your combat power is too weak. I really look down on you guys. Lin Fei shook his head. Lin won, and the other 2 attacked, even more fiercely. Their boss was not satisfied with their efficiency. The sword light and blade light covered the sky as they slashed at Lin Fei. 5 of the 20 top-level ultimate gods were sent to deal with Lin Fei, but they still could not do anything to Lin Fei. That layer of defense seemed to be invincible. It was a result they did not want to accept. Since when did the Beast Divine continent have such a guy? That outer layer of turtle shell was really not easy to break. He did not even make a move. Just that layer of defense alone was enough to render them helpless. There was nothing more humiliating than that. They had previously clapped their hands and promised to take him down easily, but they were doomed to be disappointed this time. Absolute space. Lin Fei shouted softly. A huge space trapped the 20 top-level ultimate gods, including the 3 major clans. None of them could leave. That was the absolute space. Chapter 3277. It was an absolute space. 20 peak ultimate gods, and the 3 clans were captured in one fell swoop. No matter how they attacked the absolute space, they could not escape. At that moment, they realized they had come to the wrong place. The young man had a powerful strength that they could not contend with. In the eternal universe, the strong were respected. Lin Fei suppressed them with one move, and his strength was recognized by them. Ultimate God Lin, we are not your enemy. The 3 clans are looking for us. The 20 peak ultimate gods pushed out an old, middle-aged peak ultimate god to talk to Lin Fei. We are willing to compensate you as long as you don't kill us, and let us leave the Beast Divine continent. Ancient Stone Divine Lord and the other 2 were captured. At that moment, the 3 ultimate gods were the most aggrieved. They thought they could capture Lin Fei, but in the blink of an eye, they had suffered a crushing defeat and had become prisoners. In the barbarians' courtyard, Lin Fei smiled and looked at the 20 peak ultimate gods who were imprisoned in the absolute space. The number of big cities in the Yuan-Nia world was beyond Lin Fei's expectations. At the same time, he was impressed by the 3 clans' methods to find so many experts. There's no hurry. You can think about it. As long as you can give me something that interests me, I promise to let you go. Lin Fei smiled. As for the 3 of them, there's no need for them to live. Deal with them. A simple sentence decided the fate of the 3 ultimate gods. Lin Fei, you can't kill us. Ancient Stone Divine Lord struggled. If you kill us, you'll be in big trouble. Mu Lai added, it's our fault for besieging you. We are willing to pay any price, but you can't kill us. Killing us will only bring you harm and no benefits. We can hand over the Beast Divine continent and never come here again. Lin Fei laughed. You make it sound so real, but didn't you think about the consequences of losing when you looked for help? I think you definitely didn't think about it. The 3 ultimate gods cursed in their hearts. If they knew, they would have come over obediently instead of ending up like prisoners. It was really embarrassing. Which one of you knows their secret? If you can tell me, I'll let him go. 20 ultimate gods were fighting to claim that they knew the answer. Lin Fei randomly picked a top-notch ultimate god. You speak. The 3 great celestial clans are Yuan Fu's henchmen in Yuan-Nia world. They're used to monitor every move of the continent's merger. The peak ultimate god revealed everything he knew in order to leave. Lin Fei sneered in his heart. He knew that the Yuanmi world was not so simple. Xiaoyan might have left for the Yuanmi world. There were too many secrets there. Those people might not be making any moves now. But once the 5 continents were combined, the universe chip might be exposed. That would be the real beginning. You can leave now. Leave your battleship and everything on you. Lin Fei said lightly. You don't have to leave again. The peak ultimate god dared not say anything. Even if he was in pain, he did not dare to show any dissatisfaction. 20 peak ultimate gods could not withstand a single move from the other party. The other party was too strong for them to fight. They should be happy to be able to leave alive. Not bad. There's a big backer behind you. Lin Fei squinted his eyes. He had heard some news from Xiaoyan and immediately thought of the universe chip. It was a priceless treasure. Ancient stone divine Lord plucked up his courage. Lin Fei, you're very powerful. We're not as good as you. We don't want the beast divine continent anymore. As long as you let us leave, Yuan Fu won't bother you. I can promise you that. Lin Fei understood one thing. The reason the 3 of them could invite such a strong foreign aid was probably because they were afraid of Yuan Fu and gave them face. Who can tell me exactly how powerful the Yuan Fu is? Whoever can tell me, I'll let you go. Soon, Lin Fei got the second piece of news. Lin Fei really wanted to thank the 3 major clans for finding a group of peak ultimate gods who knew everything. They gave him the opportunity to learn about the situation deep inside the Yuanmi world. One by one, the peak ultimate gods were released by Lin Fei. Every pinnacle ultimate god left empty-handed. The 20 peak ultimate gods were soon released. Similarly, Lin Fei learned about 20 pieces of information about the situation outside. From those pieces of information, he had grasped a lot of information that he was not privy to normally. Lin Fei, we won't dare to do it again. The beast divine continent is yours. Although they brought up the Yuan Fu, they were actually just scouts at the front lines. The higher-ups did not care about their lives. If it was not for the beast divine continent merging with the Shangling continent, they would have forgotten about Yuan Fu. I'm sorry. I gave you a chance, but you didn't want it. Who can you blame for that? Lin Fei said faintly and turned to leave. A loud bang was heard. A huge space exploded and a terrifying aura crushed on them. The 3 peak ultimate gods from the 3 major clans were turned into ashes. Boss, do you want to destroy the 3 major clans now? Lin number 1 volunteered. Lin number 1 and the other 2 were very angry that they did not manage to kill one of the 20 peak ultimate gods. It was a pleasant surprise to learn about the existence of Yuan Fu from the 3 major clans. However, it also made Lin Fei feel a sense of crisis. You can fight the 3 peak ultimate gods, but you can't kill them. Just scare them. You know what to do. Lin Fei ordered. Lin number 1 decisively left with the mission. The peak ultimate gods from the 3 major clans only died in their original bodies. They still had their clones. After their original bodies died, their clones could not sit still and ran away immediately. They did not dare to stay any longer for fear that Lin Fei would come for them. By the time Lin number 1 arrived, they were long gone. Without the peak ultimate gods, the 3 major clans immediately became well-behaved. Especially after a group of ultimate gods were killed, the remaining people were terrified. As for the 10 royal clans, they were also well-behaved. Everyone knew that the Shangling continent and the Divine Beast continent would fall into Lin Fei's hands before the continent was freed. As for what would happen in the future, no one knew. After beating the 3 major clans, the 10 royal clans became well-behaved. The news from the Divine Beast continent spread to the Shangling continent. The human experts there were not as strong as the Divine Beast continent, so there was nothing much to say. Everyone knew that a super expert had appeared in the Divine Beast continent. He had suppressed the 3 major clans and the 10 royal clans. The humans from the Shangling continent were not strong enough. With Feng Jutian leading the way, the two continents got along peacefully and no one had anything to say. They were happy to see such a situation. After all, no essence beast expert was easy to deal with. Chapter 3278. In the depths of the Yuan Mia world, black and white shrouded everything. It was the deepest part of the Yuan Mia world. The huge black and white colors formed a huge array. The left side was black, while the right side was white. It looked like it would not be obstructed by water. On top of this formation, there was a magnificent city. Its surface was completely black, and it shone with a strange black luster. The city had a resounding name, Yuan City. It was also the location of the Yuan Fu. Yuan Fu was the most terrifying existence in the Yuan Mia world. It had the true power of life and death. The city lords of the Yuan Mia world were all under Yuan Fu. So, the Shengling continent and the Divine Beast continent have a new master. In the main hall of the Yuan Fu, there were 3 huge thrones placed high up in the hall. On each of the thrones sat an expert with a strong aura. There were 2 men and 1 woman. They were the supreme rulers of the Yuan Fu and were known as the 3 magnates. The one who spoke was a tall and skinny guy with a cold gaze. There was a scar on the left side of his face, like a centipede wrapped around his face. He looked extremely ferocious and terrifying. His name was Danyu. It was a special name. In the Yuan Fu, Danyu was a ferocious guy. He was bloodthirsty and cannibalistic. Interesting. You bunch of trash can't even watch over a mere divine beast continent. What's the use of keeping you around? Danyu laughed sinisterly and slammed his palm on the armrest of the throne. He opened his mouth wide and swallowed the kneeling, shivering ultimate gods from the 3 great clans in one gulp. Danyu, who allowed you to eat them? Look at the situation now. A reprimanding voice came from another throne. You should change your temper. You have thick skin and meat. How could you eat that? Luo Sha, that's his temper. He won't be able to change it for the rest of his life. It was the same last time. He ate those who didn't like him. Another tall and sturdy figure said. He ate them. What else can he do? Danyu gloomily said. If he doesn't do his job well, then could it be that he will be kept here forever? Do you think we should help this Lin Fei a little? After all, the 3rd continent is about to be unsealed. You should know that those fellows from the 3rd continent don't have good tempers. It doesn't matter. The female powerhouse, called Rakshasa, said nonchalantly, before the 5 continents merge, let's not make a move if we can. It's fine as long as you like such a small matter. In any case, it's just a fellow with a lowly bloodline who has mastered some strange abilities. This kind of little fellow, I can kill a whole bunch of them with a single breath. I hope this brat doesn't disappoint. Danyu laughed. His laughter was filled with a chill that made one's hair stand on end. Ever since they defeated the siege of the 3 god clans, Lin Fei controlled the Saint Spirit continent and the Divine Beast continent. Although he didn't establish any empires, both continents had a nominal master. The humans and the soul beasts began to coexist peacefully. The Saint Spirit continent became the sacred land of the humans, while the Divine Beast continent became the world of the soul beasts. The only thing that made them uncomfortable was that the master of the 2 continents, Lin Fei, would occasionally do something unexpected. He would come every few days, tormenting everyone several times a year. As time passed, everyone gradually got used to this matter. Now that there was no danger to their lives, that person could do whatever he wanted. Other than that, there were many black pagodas. They looked very ordinary, but for some reason, there was a trace of mystery. Until now, no one could understand them. To them, these few thousand years were the most peaceful days. Saint Body Mountain. Ever since he unified the Saint Spirit continent and the Divine Beast continent, Lin Fei returned to the Saint Body Mountain. Once again, he walked on the path of building up his prestige. He set up a large number of energy pagodas, one after another, all over the 2 continents. The effects were naturally very good, and he could perfectly absorb prestige. In 1,000 years, he had recovered his capital. Enchanted equipment was also completely popularized. From level 1 to level 9 enchanted equipment, they all started to circulate in the 2 continents. After a few thousand years, be it the humans or the soul beasts, their overall strength had increased by a huge margin. Many god-venerable experts had emerged. Even if they were not at the cultivation level, they could already unleash their power. My prestige is getting lower and lower. In the secret chamber, the black-eyed and black-haired Lin Fei could not help but laugh bitterly. This outcome was actually within Lin Fei's expectations. I'm still too greedy. Shaking his head slightly, Lin Fei's lips curled up and he revealed a smile again. In the 9,000 years, Lin Fei had gained a total of 300 trillion prestige points. A huge number. Every time he saw this number, Lin Fei could not stop smiling. What could 300 trillion prestige points do? Naturally, there were many things he could do. Even if a universe-level expert came, he might be able to deal a fatal blow to him. As for whether it would work or not, Lin Fei could only guess. It's less than 1,000 years until the 3rd continent is unlocked. It's time to increase my strength. In the 9,000 years, Lin Fei had not increased his strength. He had always been wary of the Yuan Fu in the depths of the Yuan world. If it came to him one day, he would at least have the strength to protect himself. No matter who came, the 300 trillion prestige points that Lin Fei had accumulated would definitely be a super feast. Unfortunately, 9,000 years had passed, and there was no sign of the Yuan Fu at all. Lin Fei had worried for 9,000 years for nothing. Above the God Venerable is the universe level. It's a rebirth and a completely new life form. All these years, I've collected very little information. I can only walk the path of the physical body now. This was the question that Lin Fei had been thinking about. Lin Fei was preparing to strengthen his physical body. Lin 1 and the other 2 were extremely strong. Lin Fei's physical body could not withstand it without using any defensive skills. It could only be said that his physical body level was still too low. He learned from Lin 1 and the others that there were also different levels of pinnacle ultimate gods. Pinnacle ultimate gods like them could barely absorb a certain amount of cosmic energy. Cosmic energy basically did not exist in the Yuan world or even in this area. There was a limit to how strong a pinnacle ultimate god could be. A 3-star ultimate god expert could absorb traces of cosmic energy from heaven and earth. This was the difference between a 2-star and 3-star expert. Lin Fei needed to improve his physical body level. When his physical body could withstand the invasion of cosmic energy, his physical body would be comparable to a universe-level body. Chapter 3279. Lin Fei was prepared to start with those body-refining cultivation techniques. It was not easy to improve one's physical body at his current level. Lin 1 and the other 2 were knowledgeable, but in terms of body refining, they had rarely seen anyone with a level 10 ultimate god's physical body. It required a huge price to pay. Even a top-level ultimate god would not be able to bear such a price. It was extremely difficult to walk the path of body refining, and almost no one could do it. However, it was not a problem for Lin Fei. With a lot of prestige, strengthening one's physical body was a piece of cake. Let's start with you. The prestige support system did not contain any body-refining cultivation techniques related to the universe level. Ding! 500 million prestige successfully cultivated the first level of celestial overlord physique. Ding! 5 billion prestige successfully cultivated the second level of celestial overlord physique. After spending 150 billion prestige, the celestial overlord physique was perfected. Lin Fei felt that his physical body had strengthened a lot, but it was still far from being comparable to a universe-level body. Ding! 1 billion prestige successfully cultivated the first level of the divine body. Ding! 3 billion prestige successfully cultivated the first level of the immortal body. Ding! 2 billion prestige successfully cultivated the first level of the eternal divine body. There were all sorts of body-refining cultivation techniques for the prestige support system. 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, 10 ignored books, 100 books. Some of these body-refining cultivation techniques required tens of billions of prestige to reach the profound realm, while others required 200 to 300 billion prestige. The first time he read 100 books, he used 3 trillion prestige for Lin Fei. The second time he read 100 books, he used 10 trillion prestige. If it were not for the fact that he had accumulated 9,000 years of prestige, Lin Fei would not have dared to use it, as it was too much. 300 books, 500 books, 1,000 books. Every body-tempering cultivation technique had a large amount of prestige thrown into it. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Once again, he took out the treasure from that year. The universe's energy was like a long sword as it stabbed at Lin Fei's body from all directions. Ding! Dang! Dang! Compared to the previous time, Lin Fei was much more confident this time. The long sword formed by the energy of the universe was unable to advance any further when it hit his skin. It automatically collapsed. Ha ha ha, it's finally done. My 120 trillion prestige points. Lin Fei finally burst out laughing. The terrifying cosmic energy was finally unable to break through his defense. Lin Fei could still remember the first time he had faced it. He had been riddled with holes by the cosmic energy. Fortunately, he had the assistance of his skills, so he had not been seriously injured. Now that Lin Fei did not need any skills to protect him, he could endure the universe's energy. There was not a single weak point on his body. His entire body was flawless. At the same time, his qi and blood became incomparably dense. With just a thought, the sound of blood boiling could easily kill a godly venerable expert. This was the powerful physical body that came with 120 trillion reputation points. Lin Fei reached out to grab the treasure. The cosmic energy hit his hand but was unable to tear his skin. Not even a white spot was left. It was enough to prove that Lin Fei's physical body was ridiculously strong. It's a pity that the remaining reputation points cannot be used recklessly. The 300 trillion reputation points that I collected over the past 9,000 years have been reduced by almost half. Lin Fei flipped his hand and kept the treasure. He sighed at the consumption of reputation points. However, with my 120 trillion reputation points and a physical body that is comparable to a universe level, I won't need to use the reputation system's skills easily when facing top-notch godly venerables in the future. I can save a huge amount of reputation points. If it were other forces, they might not be able to forge such a physical body, even if they spent the entire sect or even the entire continent's resources. Lin Fei did it easily. It's time to go out. I'm really looking forward to the experts in the third continent. Now that my physical strength has skyrocketed, I wonder if there's anyone there who can withstand the power of my fist. Lin Fei laughed. Shanling continent. 2 figures traversed through space and appeared in mid-air above Shanling continent. These 2 were not very old, but their eyes shone with arrogance. They were Dan Yu's subordinates and were specifically responsible for passing orders to the barbarian Lin Fei. This place is too bad. There's not even a trace of universe energy. The 2 shook their heads slightly. After confirming the direction, they moved in a certain direction. In less than a moment's time, the 2 arrived at the Saint Body Mountain. The layer of defense that was set up outside could not stop them at all. They appeared in the sky above the Saint Body Mountain and arrived at the highest level of the Saint Body Mountain. Who are you? Lin number 1 and the other 2 sensed them immediately and took out their treasures to surround them. We are from the Yuan Fu. If you don't want to die, stand aside. One of the young men said indifferently, "With just the three of you, killing you will be as easy as flipping our palms." Yuan Fu, Lin number 1, and the other two's faces changed as they felt a dangerous aura coming from them. "Ask your master, Lin Fei, to come out." The young man sat down and said sternly, as though he was in his own home. Lin number 1 and the others did not dare to make a move. The Yuan Fu was not something anyone could impersonate. If these two said they were from the Yuan Fu, then they were definitely the Yuan Fu. There was no doubt about it. "Please wait for a moment, we will inform them now." Lin number 1 lowered his head and said, giving Lin number 2 a look. Lin number 2 hurried to contact his boss. If possible, they did not want to be enemies with the Yuan Fu. The words behind the Yuan Fu represented a huge organization. Killing them would be as easy as killing an ant. "Boss, something bad has happened. The people from the Yuan Fu are here." Lin Fei was just about to come out when he received Lin number 2's message. "Kiki Yuan Fu." If it was a while ago, Lin Fei might have been afraid, but now that he had a body comparable to the universe level, he was confident that he could even fight Yuan Fu experts to a draw or even suppress them. Lin Fei was ready to see what the Yuan Fu was up to. If they were here to oppress him, he would not mind fighting them. Lin number 2 was waiting outside after coming out of the secret chamber. Lin Fei asked about the situation and concluded that the people who came were indeed from the Yuan Fu. They were not weak and were peak ultimate gods, at least 3 stars. They had the strength to suppress them. Lin Fei concealed his aura and looked like an ordinary ultimate god. He came in from the outside and saw the 2 young men. With just a glance, the oppressive aura from them was enough to prove one thing. They were not imposters. "You're Lin Fei. You don't look that good." One of the young men glanced at him and said indifferently, "Those Protoss guys are really useless." Lin Fei was not someone who could not control his temper. It was just a few words. "I'm Lin Fei." Lin Fei said, "I was just lucky to defeat the Protoss." Lin Fei was very calm facing the 2 men. When Lin Fei was talking, they were actually observing and testing each other. They had performed well and could be supported. Chapter 3280. Lin Fei was already prepared. Yuan Fu was a powerful force in the Yuanmi realm. Even the 3 celestial races had pledged their allegiance to them. It was only a matter of time before they came knocking. After the celestial race found strong reinforcements, Lin Fei knew that the Yuan Fu was behind the celestial race. With such a huge incident, it would be strange if they didn't come. They came earlier than he expected. The only thing he didn't expect was that they were here to recruit him. Recruit? What an unbelievable thing. Lin Fei was prepared to go all out, but it seemed like the fight was not going to happen. In fact, Lin Fei didn't want to fight so soon. It wasn't a good thing to be noticed in advance. To the people of Yuan Fu, Lin Fei was an expert from the barbarian race. All he had to do was mention the name of Yuan Fu, and he would be recruited. It was equivalent to having a knife in his hand. "What's in it for me?" Lin Fei asked directly. "If there's nothing in it for me, I won't do it. It's not that easy to take the divine beast continent and the saintly spirit continent from my hands." Lin Fei, who had the barbarian race bloodline, naturally had to have a temper. As the lackey of the Eternal Church, Yuan Fu definitely had many good things. It would be a pity if he didn't get some from them. Lin Fei's thinking was that simple. The 2 youths from Yuan Fu had long since predicted that the barbarian tribe was a bunch of brainless fellows. Killing them would be done in a straightforward manner, and they would never bother with strategy. Such people were the easiest to control. "No problem. We like people like you." One of the young men said, "Let me introduce myself. I am Yuan Fu's 3rd grade general, Luo Xian. From now on, we will be your contacts. If you need anything, just let us know. This is something that Yuan Fu brought for you." Since the other party was so tactful, they wouldn't suppress him. A storage ring was tossed over. Lin Fei grabbed it in his hand and directly examined it in front of Luo Xian. His face couldn't help but reveal a happy expression. Good stuff, really good stuff. Ha ha ha, I'm quite satisfied. Luo Xian was also observing Lin Fei and was very satisfied with him. Lin Fei, as long as you do your job well, the good things in Yuan Fu will be beyond your imagination. Luo Xian smiled and said, Your next task is actually very simple, which is to take control of the third continent. As long as you do well, Yuan Fu will reward you with a powerful universal treasure. How about it? Are you tempted? This isn't something ordinary people can have. Universe-level treasure. Something that looked good, but wasn't practical. Lin Fei sneered in his heart. He was not an ignorant person. How could he believe a few words? Moreover, his own body was comparable to a universe-grade body. It was not inferior to those universe-grade treasures. Wow, a universe-grade treasure. That's a legendary existence. Will I really have the chance to have one? Lin Fei revealed a look of ecstasy. Luo Xian was very satisfied. Of course, Yuan Fu isn't something you can imagine. Now, let me tell you about the situation in the third continent so that you can be prepared. Yuan Fu thinks highly of me. It's just a continent. I'll definitely take it down. Lin Fei patted his chest and guaranteed. Luo Xian and another young man left Saint Spirit Continent. Do you think that guy will listen to you? Luo Xian didn't care and said, He seems to be very obedient now. After all, the barbarians are a bunch of brainless fellows. They are suitable to be cannon fodder. The third continent was an opposing force in the past. After such a long time, their overall strength has increased rapidly. Lin Fei better fight out with them. At that time, our people will intervene and it will be a piece of cake. Hee, that leaves us with a lot of trouble. The young man nodded and said, It's best for him to be obedient, lest we have to find another one. Luo Xian said coldly, I believe that guy will listen. In front of Yuan Fu, no one is disobedient. It was like that in the past, and it's still like that now. Those forces that think that they are a part of the Saint Spirit world will soon know the consequences of going against the Yuan Fu. Saint Body Mountain, Luo Xian, and the other young man didn't know that their conversation had been overheard. After they left, Lin Fei exchanged for a skill to eavesdrop on the conversation between the two of them and listened in on their conversation. Lin Fei blinked and said, Hee, do you really think that I'm easy to deal with? I knew that you guys were up to no good. So, you guys are opposing forces. It won't be that easy to be cannon fodder. From their conversation, Lin Fei could more or less make out some clues. From the third continent to the fourth and fifth continents, it was definitely not as simple as he had imagined. There might be many experts there, and it might even be related to what happened in the past. I don't care if they are opposing forces or not. With the Yuan Fu backing me, it should be even easier to gain prestige. No one will oppose me, and it will be perfectly justifiable. This is actually quite a good deal. Lin Fei gradually broke away from the scope of fighting and killing. When he could, why not make use of it? For example, the things that Luo Xian had sent over were actually quite good. For example, the enchanted equipment was of a very high grade. Apart from that, there were also elixirs of high quality. At the same time, there were cultivation techniques. Lin Fei immediately looked for Lin Wan and the others and threw the things in his storage ring to them. Help me take a look and see what these things are. Lin Wan and the others were all very wary of the people from the Yuan Fu. In their eyes, the two words Yuan Fu were an insurmountable mountain. Anyone who dared to challenge the rule of the Yuan Fu would end up in a miserable state. They were experienced people and knew a lot of secrets that others did not know. Boss, the things that Yuan Fu has given us are quite good. For example, this elixir is a physique enhancement pill that can only be taken by top ultimate gods. It can strengthen one's physical body. Also, this elixir can be used to heal injuries at critical moments. It's suitable for top ultimate gods. The three of them were secretly shocked. Those things were also extremely precious in the eyes of top ultimate gods. For example, those cultivation techniques would cause a fight to break out no matter which one was placed in the outside world. Since you like them so much, you can split them. Whether it was the physique enhancement pill from top ultimate gods or other things, Lin Fei was not interested in them. With his universe-level body, Lin Fei was able to handle all problems. If Zi-Outyen had not reminded him that the Eternal Church was more terrifying than he imagined, Lin Fei might have really gone to the Yuan Fu to satisfy the thrill of being a universe-level expert. Lin Fei was in no hurry at all. The universe chip had become Lin Fei's obsession. He had to get his hands on it no matter what. Lin Fei believed that it was best to wait until the universe chip appeared. Now was the time to hide his strength and bide his time. "Thank you, boss," Lin Wan and the others said gratefully. Chapter 3281. The third continent was called the Thousand Victories Continent. The news was naturally from Luo Xian. "It can't be. It's the Thousand Victories Continent." Lin number 1 and the other two's expressions changed. "If it's them, we're in trouble. The Thousand Victories Continent isn't easy to deal with. What have you heard or seen?" Lin Fei knew some of the situation from Luo Xian. Luo Xian's words were vague, plus what he said before he left. He didn't believe that there was nothing fishy about it. Lin number 1's face was obviously filled with fear, but he quickly relaxed. "Boss, the Thousand Victories Continent, if I'm not wrong, it should be the Thousand Victories family from back then. The most powerful thing about this family is that their ancestors produced universe-level warriors. All along, within the Thousand Victories family, there have been countless experts. They even have a universe-level treasure. Back then, in the Saint Spirit world, the Thousand Victories family once built an empire," as Lin number 1 and the other two explained the matter. Lin Fei was very shocked. The Yuan Fu people really don't have good intentions. A family that once had a universe-level warrior is indeed extraordinary. To think they have the nerve to use me as cannon fodder. Lin Fei laughed coldly in his heart. Then does that mean the Thousand Victories family and the Yuan Fu were enemies? Lin Fei asked curiously. Yuan Fu and the Thousand Victories family have always been enemies. Later on, the Thousand Victories family's universe-level warrior fell, and the Yuan Fu suppressed them. Then, after so long, do you think there will be a universe-level warrior appearing in the Thousand Victories continent? Lin Fei was now interested in the universe crystal. Other than that, there were also universe levels. There was simply too little information regarding the universe-level warriors. Maybe this time, he would have a chance to learn more about universe levels. The last 100 years passed in the blink of an eye. Zilong and his daughter, whom Lin Fei had been paying attention to, didn't appear. The city lords in the Yuan Mia world also didn't appear, as though they had vanished into thin air. Lin Fei pondered for a while. Maybe everyone knew the origin of the third continent. This possibility was very high. If it wasn't for the news of the third continent, there would definitely be a lot of people coming for the merging of the continents. Lin Fei realized that as the continents were unsealed and merged, the hidden big shots would begin to stir. This game was getting more and more interesting. It's about to be unsealed. Compared to the last time, the movement this time was not very big. The barrier smiled like the spring snow. A powerful pressure was produced between heaven and earth. Be it the experts from the Saint Spirit continent or the Divine Beast continent, all of them were being crushed collectively. All of them were breaking out in cold sweat, and their bodies were trembling. The fusion of the continents didn't cause much of a commotion. However, the pressure of the world was more than 10 times stronger than the last time. When faced with this kind of pressure, they could not even think of resisting. The situation was completely different from the last time. The world has changed. Lin Fei, who had a physical body comparable to a universe-level warrior, could easily feel the changes brought about by the merger. For example, the void had become sturdier. If it was before, a punch could easily break through the void. However, this time, the void had become sturdier. Lin Fei could clearly feel that slight change. The surface of the continents had completely changed. At the same time, the gravity of the world had also increased. When moving, there was a huge boost in the air, which was something that wasn't there before. For example, previously, they could move very quickly and fly hundreds of millions of miles without a problem. But now, they would probably have to shorten the distance by half. If it was 100 million miles, they would have to travel 5,000 miles more. This change greatly affected everyone's strength. It could be said that a portion of their strength had to be used to withstand external forces, while the remaining portion was used to fight. Thus, their strength would be greatly reduced. And this was just the change caused by the fusion of 3 continents. If the 4th and 5th continents were to be added in, it would be a huge test for any expert. Lin Fei felt the changes in the world. The fusion of the continents indirectly affected the strength of the experts. It didn't affect Lin Fei at all. The pressure of the world was like a tickle to him. This was the strength of a universe-level body. Even if 2 continents were to be merged, the result would be the same. Ha ha ha! Our victorious empire can finally fight on the battlefield again. Lackeys of the Yuan Fu, are you guys ready? Without any warning, a domineering voice rumbled across the world. Experts from the Shangling continent and the divine beast continent vomited blood. It's the victorious clan from back then. We're doomed. They're actually still around and built an empire. What should we do? It's over, it's over. Why is it them? Many hierarch experts immediately thought of a clan when they heard the victorious empire. Their faces changed. No one knew better than them how powerful the victorious clan was. It was a clan that had produced a universe-level expert. This was the foundation of a clan. Not only did this clan produce a universe-level expert, but they also left behind a universe-level treasure. This was a great killing weapon that could destroy anyone who came. A 3rd continent had appeared between the divine beast continent and the Shangling continent. Compared to the Shangling continent and the divine beast continent, the victorious continent was on a different level. At the border, the victorious empire had stationed their troops there. The skies were filled with battleships. The most eye-catching one was a golden battleship. It emitted golden light like a huge blazing sun. The scene at the border had shocked the experts from the Shangling continent and the divine beast continent. With their acute senses, they could easily sense the dangerous aura coming from the other side. Everyone had expected that when the 3 continents merged, the victorious empire would actually station their troops at the border and prepare to deal a fatal blow to the other 2 continents. Woo 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 woo! The war horn sounded and reverberated across the world. Attack! Kill anyone who refuses to obey. The vigorous attack had begun. Do you have to be so direct? Lin Fei had really underestimated the boldness of the victorious empire. They had chosen to start a war without knowing the situation. This was completely different from the divine beast continent. In this aspect, they were much stronger than the divine beast continent. That golden battleship is filled with peak ultimate gods. Are they going all out? Apart from that, I can also sense a terrifying and dangerous aura. It can't be a universe-level treasure, right? Lin Fei fell into deep thought. Could it be that they want to unify the 3 continents in a single battle? The victorious empire's decision to take the initiative to attack was really out of Lin Fei's expectations. They didn't want to understand the situation first before slowly testing it out. How could they play with a single attack? Lin Fei was still prepared to slowly play with the 3rd continent. However, with the current situation, were they going to have a huge, decisive battle? Lin Fei rubbed his chin. It's really difficult to gain the prestige of the victorious empire. Chapter 3282. The moment the 3rd continent, victorious Thousand Continent, appeared, the war was about to break out. The victorious Thousand Empire, which was stationed at the border, launched their attack immediately. The majestic army attacked directly, crushing the two continents in an invincible manner. The Saint Spirit continent and the Divine Beast continent both took measures to resist. However, their resistance couldn't stop the army of the victorious Thousand Empire at all. The two continents were completely defeated. From start to end, not a single expert came out from the Golden Warship. With the strength of the victorious Thousand Empire alone, they were able to crush the other continents head-on. The Saint Spirit continent and the Divine Beast continent were waiting for Lin Fei to make a move. However, after 3 consecutive days, Lin Fei didn't appear at all. If Lin Fei wanted to farm his reputation, he wouldn't appear so early. Otherwise, how could he farm his reputation? They were unhappy with the actions of the victorious Thousand Empire. If they attacked directly, how could they continue to have fun? In the cabin of the Golden Warship, a total of 3 people were seated. The rest didn't have the right to sit and stood behind the other 3. Our victorious Thousand Empire is unstoppable wherever our soldiers go. The one who spoke was the person in the middle. He was also the commander of this operation, the 5th great general of the victorious Thousand Empire, General Bai Yan. He was dressed in black armor, and his eyes were cold and filled with boundless majesty. In the victorious Thousand Empire, other than the royal family, the 10 great generals were the most famous. They controlled the 10 great armies of the empire. General Bai Yan was ranked 5th and controlled one of the armies. General is still the best. Catching them off guard is better than someone taking things one step at a time. The second person said to the other person. His words were filled with contempt. This was Qian Shao, who was a close friend of General Bai Yan. In order to manage the 10 great armies, there would be a supervisor for every mission. Qian Shao was the supervisor. The third person who was insulted was dressed differently from the first person. He was dressed in a luxurious robe and exuded a noble aura. This was the royal family disciple, Long Wuhan. The royal family of the Thousand Victories Empire were all surnamed Long. Legend has it that the first emperor of the Thousand Victories Empire obtained the essence, blood, of the Dragon Clan. His strength soared, and he eventually became a universe-level warrior. In response to the army supervisor's sarcasm, Long Wuhan smiled faintly and said, "The clan sent me here, and the most important thing is to learn. I know that my grasp of the battlefield is severely lacking. With General Bai here, I can learn more about the general's battlefield skills. If I don't learn how to walk like an arrow," General Bai said calmly, "Your Highness, you are too humble." As for any general, unless it was the prince that he liked, he would not like the other princes. For example, Long Wuhan was the one that General Bai Yan did not like. Don't be fooled by Prince Long Wuhan's nonchalant words. Anyone who heard them would feel humble. From this, one thing could be seen, and that was Prince Long Wuhan's slyness. "General Bai, you flatter me." Long Wuhan smiled and said, "Now that the Divine Beast continent and the Saint Spirit continent have been defeated, I wonder if the higher-ups will make a move. They don't have the guts." Army Supervisor Qian said, "According to the news that we received, the Saint Spirit continent and the Divine Beast continent are controlled by the barbarian race. Do you think that the brainless barbarian race has the ability to command a large-scale war? If our Thousand Victories Empire wants experts, we have experts. If we want resources, we have resources. How can it be what 2 declining continents can compare to? You have guts. You actually dare to say that the barbarian race is brainless." A light snort rang out in the cabin. A hand appeared out of nowhere, and the wind howled. The 5 fingers clenched slightly, and Army Supervisor Qian's expression changed. He soared into the air, and the blade light struck the fingers continuously. "Kacha!" The 5 fingers ignored the blade light attacks and grabbed Army Supervisor Qian's head. His head exploded, and red and white matter flew everywhere. "You are the first to kill someone in front of me." General Bai Yan slammed his palm on the armrest, and his sharp eyes turned into a blade light. The black blade light slashed against the hand that had reached out and sparks flew everywhere. The blade light formed by the gaze was casually swept to the side. "You're already so old. Why do you have to be so angry?" Lin Fei's figure appeared in the cabin, and with a wave of his hand, the army supervisor's body turned into dust. The smell of blood was also swept away as he calmly sat on the army supervisor's seat. General Bai Yan's trusted subordinates were all level 9 ultimate gods, the elites of the elites. They had never seen such an arrogant and ignorant person who dared to call the general old. It was the first time they heard such a thing, and they were naturally furious. Dozens of experts attacked at the same time, and all their power attacks condensed into one attack. That attack was extremely powerful. In an instant, it surpassed the combat power of a level 9 ultimate god and stepped into the peak of level 10 ultimate god. "General Bai, could this be the one-blade effusion?" Long Wuhan asked curiously. She was very indifferent to the changes in front of her. "Your Highness has a good eye." General Bai Yan smiled. "It's just a small trick. It's not worth mentioning." Long Wuhan sneered in his heart. If this is a small trick, then what's a big trick? He was very familiar with that move. Otherwise, the old man would not have brought those elites with him. Anyone who wanted to fight the old man would have to face the Unity Blade, a terrifying killer move that could be condensed infinitely. Long Wuhan was very interested in that move and had hinted several times that he wanted it. However, the old man pretended not to know, which made Long Wuhan very annoyed. Long Wuhan was also interested in the guy in front of him. The quality of the worship was not low, but the other party was able to sneak in and kill Army Supervisor Qian Shao. His strength was not to be underestimated. The dozens of experts' condensed blade attack was extremely domineering. Once the blade attack was unleashed, the void was split open and could not be reassembled for a long time. The blade light went straight for Lin Fei's face. Lin Fei's eyes lit up when he saw such an attack. It's not a bad move. All the attack power can be merged into one in an instant. No wonder he brought a group of experts with him. If I want to kill General Bai, I have to block this attack. Lin Fei gently stretched out his hand. One of his hands was Bai Ruyu, shining with a strange luster. With more than 100 trillion prestige points, Lin Fei's physical body became extraordinary. He opened his palm slightly and a hand appeared, grabbing the attack. Explode! Those people sneered. None of them would be able to resist it if they tried to use this method. The domineering attack landed on the palm, as if it wanted to tear Lin Fei's palm apart. At the same time, a monstrous force came crashing down, crashing into Lin Fei's palm. "It's quite powerful." Lin Fei laughed. "But that's it." "Gotcha!" Lin Fei gently squeezed and the attack was crushed. The terrifying power exploded and was wrapped tightly by this hand. Those dozens of experts did not cultivate anything else but this attack. They did not expect it to be easily blocked. Chapter 3283. From the moment Lin Fei stretched out his hand, General Bai Yan's expression changed. The other party was an expert. Just as General Bai Yan had thought, the other party was indeed very strong. He had blocked the fusion blade with just one hand. Not only that, but he had also easily broken through it. His means were not ordinary. From the beginning to the end, General Bai Yan did not sense a trace of energy. What a strong body, cultivator! This was an attack that even a 10th grade ultimate god would not dare to take head-on, especially when it was blocked with the body. The meaning was completely different. It was easy to guess who could appear in the cabin at this time. What controller? It's just a title, Lin Fei said indifferently. After being attacked by the other party for 3 days, Lin Fei was very clear about the strength of the 1,000 Victory Empire. When he found out that it was only a legion, he was about to curse in his heart. Strong, not an ordinary kind of strong. How did the 1,000 Victory Empire develop? Lin Fei had to make a trip personally. General Bai, on the other hand, is so calm. the person I worship. Lin Fei said. General Bai Yan controlled this group of subordinates and easily broke the attack. The other party's strength was very terrifying. At least he could not do it. Even if he could kill the other party, it would be a lose-lose situation. There was no benefit. General Bai Yan could not figure out what the other party wanted to do. It was the first time he saw a body cultivator of such a realm. There were a few body cultivators in the 1,000 Victory Empire, but compared to the one in front of him, they seemed to be much weaker. This is the 23rd prince of the 1,000 Victory Empire, Long Wuhan. If you have anything, you can discuss it with him. General Bai Yan was cunning as he pulled Long Wuhan out. Long Wuhan originally planned to watch silently, but he did not expect to be exposed by the old thing. He cursed in his heart. This was dragging him into the water. No matter what, the other party definitely had a purpose. So, it's your highness, Long. It's even better that a prince is here. Lin Fei couldn't be bothered with their schemes. I'm not an ambitious person. The Saint Spirit Continent and Beast God Continent are in my hands. No one can touch them. Whoever dares to touch them, I'll kill them. It's that simple. The corners of Long Wuhan's mouth curled up as he thought to himself. Those barbarians are brainless. The 1,000 Victories Empire has 10 legions. No matter which one of them is strong enough to suppress your 2 continents. Do you really think that you're invincible? If your excellency is willing to submit to me, it's not impossible for you to manage the 2 continents. Long Wuhan raised his voice. After all, no matter how powerful a person is, he is still a piece of rotten wood. Are you sure you want me to submit to you? Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. Long Wuhan was very happy. Yes, submit to me. If you have any difficulties, just mention my name and no one will dare to do anything to you. Such a good thing is not something that just anyone can have the chance to encounter. If you want me to surrender, then you must have the strength. You don't know if you can do it. Lin Fei's eyes shot out a cold light and chopped down in front of Long Wuhan. Crash! Long Wuhan released a light shield and blocked the attack. However, his body was unable to withstand the huge force. He smashed into the throne and crashed into the inner wall of the cabin. The shield was even filled with cracks. Cough, cough, cough! Long Wuhan grabbed the necklace around his neck. At this moment, the pendant of the necklace was filled with cracks. A trace of shock and fear appeared in his eyes. Just a casual attack, had almost broken through his defense. This was simply too frightening. If I were your highness, then I would be obedient and not say anything. Lin Fei said, Your pendant's defense is very strong. I don't know if it can withstand my second attack. Long Wuhan had never felt so afraid of a person. He had only seen this kind of aura from his imperial father. However, now that he saw it from another person, Long Wuhan felt a deep sense of fear. However, the dignity of a prince would not allow him to lower his head in front of a barbarian brat. I am the prince of the 1,000 Victories Empire. With a command from me, I can control your life and death. Long Wuhan said as he stared at Long Wuhan. His heart was abnormally nervous. Prince, what is this? Lin Fei slammed his palm on the armrest. A palm wind fell in front of Long Wuhan. With a crack, the protective shield appeared and shattered. Endless death enveloped him. At this moment, no counterattack seemed to be able to break through the crushing pressure of Mount Tai. Long Wuhan truly understood the other party's words. His identity as a prince was indeed useless here. This person's strength was too strong. He was so strong that he could crush him. Those secret killing moves seemed to be unable to block the attack of this palm wind. He remembered the treasure around Long Wuhan's neck. He remembered that person saying that this necklace could withstand the attacks of a top-notch ultimate god 8 stars and below. However, it was broken after 2 attacks. Did this not mean that this person was at least a top-notch ultimate god 8 stars expert? Terrifying. Don't kill me. In the face of death, Long Wuhen begged for mercy. The crushing pressure of Mount Tai was something that no one could withstand, no matter who it was. "Your Highness, you can't kill the prince." General Bai Yen threw out a treasure. It turned into a huge shield in front of Long Wuhen. The palm wind fell on it. With a crack, it was covered in cracks. Long Wuhen was once again smashed into the inner wall of the cabin. His qi and blood were in turmoil. He opened his mouth and vomited blood. How did this person cultivate his physique? His strength is so strong. My shield can withstand the attacks of a top-notch ultimate god 8 stars, but now... General Bai Yen would not let Long Wuhen be killed. If that happened, he would really be finished. The Bai family behind him would also be finished. None of the princes could die. Don't kill me. If you want to continue controlling the 2 continents, you can do it. In order to save his life, Long Wuhen hurriedly shouted. He saw the cracks on the shield clearly. It was a shocking sight. How could the 2 continents produce such an expert? It was hard to accept. General Bai Yan's subordinates were all sent out. In the cabin, only the 3 of them were left. General Bai Yan did not make a move. He knew that the other party was tyrannical and terrifying. He originally thought that he could handle the other party, but now he gave up. The other party was much stronger than him. It's impossible for the 2 continents to be controlled. Therefore, you must retreat this time. Retreat. Lin Fei said, "Don't talk to me about discussing things. Both of you are sensible people. You should understand." Long Wuhen said softly, "That's possible. Our imperial family can't let it go." "Then you can die." Another palm strike struck towards Long Wuhen. "Wait, I have an idea." Long Wuhen instantly broke out in cold sweat. As his voice fell, the palm wind dissipated. He felt like he had walked on the edge of death. It was a very bad feeling. As a prince, how could he be sullen? Chapter 3284. If not for the fact that Lin Fei didn't want to expose his strength too early and arouse the Yuan Fu's vigilance, he would have killed this prince without hesitation. Long Wuhen was completely terrified. This barbarian in front of her was extremely violent and would start a fight at the slightest disagreement. It was hard to defend against him. Even her defensive treasure necklace had been destroyed so easily. Who could withstand such a person? Long Wuhen didn't want to experience such a close encounter with death again. The palm wind dissipated, but to Long Wuhen, it was a terrible feeling. "I have a way to solve your problem." Long Wuhen said, "The saintly spirit continent and the divine beast continent are nothing in the eyes of our victorious empire. They aren't our focus. Otherwise, General Bai wouldn't have come personally." Long Wuhen said in a low voice, "As long as the empire's attention is diverted, no one will target the saintly spirit continent and the divine beast continent for a long time." General Bai Yen understood what she was talking about and didn't dare to say anything else. The person in front of him was indeed terrifying. Lin Fei understood. "It seems like your victorious empire isn't peaceful." Long Wuhen laughed dryly. "Our empire is unified, but there are some accidents now. As long as you do something, I guarantee that the empire won't care about this." Lin Fei understood what she meant. "Your position as a prince isn't that great. Aren't you afraid that this person will spread the news? If that happens, you won't be able to continue being a prince." Lin Fei glanced at General Bai Yen with a meaningful look. Long Wuhen looked at General Bai Yen and said, "General Bai, you won't disappoint me, right?" A faintly discernible killing intent landed on General Bai Yen. General Bai Yen laughed bitterly. "Your Highness, rest assured. Other than the 3 of us, no one else will know about this. If this old man spreads the news, you can come and kill me at any time." Long Wuhen finally relaxed. This General Bai hated her the most. It wasn't easy to get him to support her. The victorious empire's attack quickly retreated. No one knew the exact reason. The two continents that had been retreating could finally heave a sigh of relief. From their point of view, other than that person, no one else could have done it. The Thousand Victories Empire's army retreated to the border again. Invisibly, Lin Fei gained another batch of prestige. After the victorious Thousand Empire's army retreated from the battlefield, Lin Fei did not stay idle. If he did not want the two continents to fall into a war, he had to make a trip to the victorious Thousand Empire. According to Long Wuhan, the current Thousand Victories Empire looked like a unified empire, but in reality that was not the case. Not to mention the powers in the outside world. Just the internal struggle between the princes of the Qianqing Empire had reached a very intense degree. This was because His Majesty, the Emperor, was reaching the end of his lifespan. Most importantly, this emperor had never appointed a crown prince. This was the root of the chaos. The princes all stared at that position. It was precisely for this reason that the Victory Thousand Empire's chaos in the past few years was not obvious. But in recent years, everyone understood one thing, and that was that the Victory Thousand Empire would be in chaos for a very long time. It was just as Long Wuhan had said. If he didn't want the Thousand Victory Empire to pay attention to this place, he had to cause chaos in the Thousand Victory Empire. Once chaos ensued, the Thousand Victories Empire wouldn't care about this. That Prince Long Wuhan isn't anything good either. Lin Fei concealed his whereabouts and quietly entered the Thousand Victories Empire. Unlike the Divine Beast continent, the Thousand Victories Empire was filled with a thick imperial aura. It was clear that the Thousand Victories Empire was indeed very capable of ruling. After entering the Thousand Victories Empire, Lin Fei did not stop at all. He headed straight for the southernmost part of the Thousand Victories Empire. There was an enemy there that gave the Thousand Victories Empire a headache. In half a month, Lin Fei arrived at the southernmost part of the Thousand Victories Empire. This was a place controlled by a general. At the same time, it was an important city controlled by the empire. Long Wuhan's method was very simple, and that was to kill the general of this city. Once this city collapsed, the Thousand Victories Empire would no longer have the heart to conquer the Saint Spirit continent and the Divine Beast continent. Lin Fei was clear that this was Long Wuhan's method of killing with a borrowed knife. But this method was very useful to Lin Fei. If the Thousand Victories Empire was in chaos, it would be beneficial to everyone. In an inn in the city, Lin Fei was wearing a black robe. His cloak covered his face, revealing only a pair of cold eyes. The demonic sect is too powerful. Even a massive army couldn't kill the demonic sect leader. Instead, he escaped. I heard that our general is chasing after the demonic sect leader. Perhaps there will be good news soon. As long as the demonic sect leader is alive, everyone will not be able to rest easy. In the inn, a few people who were drinking shook their heads and looked regretful. Lin Fei sat for half a day and heard a lot of news. He confirmed that what Long Wuhan said was true. After dealing with this city, the demonic sect was making a comeback. In the Thousand Victories Empire, this demonic sect leader had great influence. It was rumored that they had a cooperative relationship with the Thousand Victories Empire in the past. Later on, their relationship broke down, and they had been fighting each other ever since. The situation that Long Wuhan said is somewhat contradictory. The demonic sect leader doesn't seem to be in a good situation. Lin Fei frowned slightly. I still have to lend a hand. In this city, Lin Fei didn't sense any powerful experts overseeing it. That proved one thing. The general of this city was chasing after the demonic sect leader. After leaving the city, Lin Fei tore open the void and traversed through space. His universe-level body allowed him to travel freely without any hindrance. This should be a branch of the demonic sect. In a deep mountain, Lin Fei saw ruins and corpses all over the ground. They're having a hard time. Lin Fei continued forward. The periphery of the demonic sect had been razed to the ground. Following the direction, Lin Fei found the demonic sect's headquarters. The headquarters was in a mess and heavily guarded. Lin Fei searched around the demonic sect's headquarters. Apart from a group of top-level ultimate gods, there were not many eye-catching people. They were basically 3-star ultimate gods. Looking at the demonic sect experts, they were either dead or injured. I can only find someone to question. Lin Fei didn't believe that the general would let go of this opportunity to eliminate the demonic sect leader. At the demonic sect's headquarters, ultimate divinity Wen Fu was the person in charge here. He was leading people to clean up the demonic sect's spoils of war. This is the consequence of making an enemy of the general. Ultimate divinity Wen Fu sneered as he flipped through the spoils of war. Your general is very powerful. A figure appeared in the demonic sect's headquarters without warning. A hand appeared above ultimate divinity Wen Fu's head, and the palm whistled. If I were you, I'd stay quiet. Feeling the aura of death, ultimate divinity Wen Fu didn't dare to move. The other party had quietly entered and had the strength to kill him. Even a fool would know what to do.